tune into another episode of For the Love of the Game, episode 33. It's myself, Dre. I've got Skervin. Ronaldo should be joining us shortly. And we've got a returning guest, Wavey, Davey. How are things, people? Everyone good?
All good.
Yeah, man. Good, thank you, man. Pleasure to be here. As you know, it's been a couple of months since we last checked in, so I think it's a good time for us to reconvene.
I bet it is. I can hear the smugness in your voice. A lot to get through this week. We're going to obviously review the weekend's games. We're going to review the Champions League and Europa League draws. Some very interesting games there. Going to pick our World Cup squad as well. England's squad will be announced in a couple of days. Going to do the weekend preview, and we're going to do the winners and losers of the weekend just gone. But first, I think we need to talk about the big game of the weekend. Certain teams are going to Stamford Bridge and turning up and, winning on a regular basis now. Arsenal fans have to start calling it 3-point bridge in that. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. As the resident Arsenal fan here, might as well start with Wavey Davey. He was here a couple of months ago, and the start of the season he said, we have winnable games, and we should win those games. And whatever happens from there, we go from there. We're a week shy of the World Cup break. Arsenal are top. We're a point clear of City.
2 points. 2 points.
2 points clear of City. The only defeat is United. They've beaten Liverpool. They've gone to the bridge and won yesterday. Before we talk about Arsenal's season, we'll talk about the game yesterday. How big is that win against Chelsea on Sunday for Arsenal's season?
Do you know the narrative that I've been kind of going? I'm being honest, and I know you said we're going to talk about the season as opposed to just the individual game, but the actual individual game was bigger than the result for me. It was kind of a shift in. Okay, so even going back to what you said earlier about that, we've been to Stamford Bridge for the last 3 games and won successfully. Now, the last 2 times we've gone there, I don't think we've convincingly beat Chelsea. I think we've got the result on the day. Whereas the difference today, the difference on Sunday was the fact that we looked very assured in our performance. So I think for me, we're moving away from literally just trying to go to a club, grab a result, grab the 3 points, smash and grab, and actually being able to dominate teams. So the culture of the club's shifting, in my opinion, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think the way that and I know there's been a lot of talk in the media about how we celebrate wins, but the way that we were able to celebrate that win was kind of different for me, because we're now talking about beating London clubs, in it, like the top London clubs. So we beat Tottenham, we beat Chelsea, we still got to play West Ham, we've played Bournemouth. So I say Bournemouth, we played Brentford. And I think for me, like I said, it's a shift for us, isn't it? So it's a positive result. We're moving in the right direction. And for me, let's just see what we're going, innit? But in terms of the performance on the day, for me, if we're going to talk about standout players, I think we said it in the pre-chat, Thomas Partey for me was immense. I think Jesus, what he done in terms of dropping in for people in their positions when they've kind of gone out of position, that was paramount. And the last point I'm going to make is another conversation I've been having a lot about is Oba or Jesus. And one of the things that was mentioned to me was that if Oba was getting the chances that Jesus was getting, then he would be putting them away. And I think that's a valid point. I think that's a valid conversation. I'm not even going to negate from that. However, what I will say is that the fluidity that Jesus provides us and the way that we are able to play with him, it allows the other players like Martinelli and Saka and Odegaard to do their thing. So I'm happy with the way that we're playing at the moment. I'm happy to continue to and not to use Arteta's quote, but to trust the process. In it for me, and I said it when I came on the pod after the first game of the season. I think it was. I predict us to finish third, and I'm not shying away from the fact that I still think potentially we'll finish about third. I think that's the lowest that I would take given where we are in the season. But yeah, that performance against Chelsea was big. So for me, it's just almost an up from here, innit?
Okay. Skervin, what's your thoughts on Arsenal's performance? I know you've been ranting and raving about them this season. You think they're in a title race. Yeah. Do you think Arsenal are? Do you think City would have seen that game on Sunday and been, taken notice of Arsenal?
110%. Even though it was, I must say, it was a weakened Chelsea side, but Arsenal still had to go to the bridge and get the job done. Simple as, and that's what they went and did. And not only did they do that, they dominated us from start to finish the whole game. Do you know what I mean? And it's the celebration after the game. Do you know what I mean? That's a different Arsenal. That's a different set of Arsenal supporters standing there at the bridge cheering on the Arsenal supporters, bro, the Arsenal players, bro. And even what's his name got caught up in his emotions after the game. Shaka, they interviewed him and he had a little swear and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like the players are feeling it, bro. There's a bounce around the club. Things is different, bro. And I think that game, everyone's got to stand up in the Prem and say that, well, Arsenal are serious contenders, brother. And that's the end of it. That you just got to stand up and just give them plaudits, bro. Because what Arteta's doing or what he's done, what he's implemented, you got to give him his praises. That's that. That's facts.
You know what? I don't know if it was because Arsenal were good or Chelsea were poor. Like,
Can I say something on that? Can I say something on that?
Go on.
I think you raise a fair point because I literally just tweeted about this about half an hour ago. So Rio Ferdinand said something, and he said Arsenal, it's a good result, but Arsenal played a second string Chelsea team. They didn't have Kepa, they didn't have James, they didn't have Kante, they didn't have Koulibaly.
Here's my thing to that. I don't think if any of those players played just on Sunday, it would have made any difference to the result.
Okay.
I don't think it would have made any difference whatsoever to the result. To me, it's the way Potter set them out to play. And I want to say they're not listening to him, but it just looks like if plan A don't work, there's no plan B. And to me, what was it, about a year ago or about 15 months ago, weren't Chelsea top of the league?
But
And
with
virtually the same squad. And everyone's like, it's the
that?
squad depth and whatever. Go on.
Bro, would you be saying the same thing? I'm sorry, you weren't saying the same thing when you lot beat Chelsea.
When was that? We ain't beat Chelsea this season.
Have you not played Chelsea? Yeah.
We drew with them 1-1.
Oh yeah, sorry. But you're not going to discredit Chelsea, for that performance.
No, we dominate. No, we dominated Chelsea. We should have won that game. I was vexed we didn't win that game.
So do we.
After half hour,
we should have won that game.
After half hour, Chelsea came into the game, but that half hour should have won the game.
Here's why I give Arsenal the respect, and I think why everyone's a bit gassed is because it's the first game this season where, out of the big six, the away teams won.
That's right.
And I always feel like that's the sign of a top team. When when there's a big six game, the away team wins. And also it's the manner in which you win as well. Because it lays down a marker in it. No matter what Chelsea team was put out yesterday, it's still a good team because the squad depth Chelsea have is good enough, no matter what team they put out, to win a football game.
Exactly.
Up top, they had the best striker on the pitch in Aubameyang. Sterling's not no slap, but and I mean by striker, finisher. Okay, to me, Gabriel Jesus is better than Aubameyang, innit? But in terms of finisher, who would I want with a gilt-edged chance? I'd want Aubameyang instead of Jesus. Yeah. But in terms of everything else, like Arsenal, how can I put it? That was a statement win to the rest of the Premier League. But it is a poor. They won in it. They won at Stamford Bridge. It's not an easy place to go to, and at the end of the day, not many teams win at Stamford Bridge.
Why are you finding it hard to praise us, bro? Man's taking bare breaths like,
But it's not a good, like, to me, it weren't a good, it weren't like Chelsea played well, and it weren't because Arsenal made them not play well. It was because there's something wrong with Chelsea.
No, I know, Dre, but you know what? Let's talk about things things in the bigger context now, innit? Let's move away slightly from the game, because obviously I'm here to talk about Arsenal fundamentally. Like, across the course of the season, and I'm not saying, because you said it as well, innit? Like, against Leeds, we never played well. Like, we deserved to lose that game, to be fair. Against Southampton, we didn't play well. We didn't play well again. We lost against you. But other than that, we've been consistent. And I remember coming on here and as you said earlier, innit? I said the start of the season, the fixtures were favourable to us, innit? And we made the most of them fixtures. So we can talk about this isolated game. We could talk about Chelsea not performing that well. But I think fundamentally, like, we're just doing what we can do to be in the mix right now. And I think that's the most important thing. Am I wrong?
Here's why I say them. But here's why as I've always said, they're not, to me, I don't think they're going to win the league. I don't think it's going to be, I think City are going to end up walking it. But because the World Cup has come at such an awkward, it's not even at the halfway point in the season. It's like 5 or 6 games before that. To me, Arsenal have done the best thing they could possibly do in terms of the top 4 race and getting points on the board. Like you said, Wavey, if they don't finish top 3, I think if Arsenal end up struggling to finish top 4, you've got to look at Arteta. Even I'm being dead serious. Because no, you have to, because no. But to me, because City gonna end up walking it. I don't think Arsenal be in the title race. To me, I don't think they will be. But they've had a very, very good start to the season. You can't knock it. You cannot knock it. They've been very fortunate with injuries. They're playing the best football in the league. I fully respect it. They're not in the title race for me. The title race ain't even started yet. But
they're playing the best football in the league.
So Brighton plays some of the best football in the league. They're crap. You know what I mean?
Nah, Dre.
Like,
come on.
What?
Dre, all right, cool. Let me pull up a couple of things that you said in it, yeah?
Go ahead.
Because, for example...
Bring out the dossier.
For example, you said, like, the World Cup is going to derail Arsenal's season, we're going to lose momentum, etc. Like, and if this was the normal season... No, look, hold on, please, sorry. Hold on. You said if this was the normal season, you'd be heaping praise on Arsenal, but it's not. Imagine some of these players have bad World Cups, but I'm like, brother, everybody's players are going to the World Cup, number one. Secondly, what if these players have good World Cups? Like, what does that then mean?
Who plays for a country that actually could do something at the World Cup that plays for Arsenal?
Saliba, Jesus.
France going home.
Yeah.
Saliba ain't even going to start.
Martinelli. Saliba's not going to start.
What game is Martinelli going to start? What, the 3rd, 4th place player?
Okay. So how does that then make it a bad World Cup then? If they're not playing, how does it make it bad?
They've gone there to cheerlead, didn't it? Rustiness.
Bro, come on.
It's true though.
Like, your thing is, like, you've got a thing against Arsenal, but let's just.
I just go off. This
Man
what I'm
said,
saying,
I don't, bruv. Your tone even changed.
Well, this is what I'm saying about Arsenal. Yeah? We've watched them capitulate year after year. To me, I don't. If I was Arsenal fan, I wouldn't trust them to finish off the job.
All right, you know what? I've got a question for you. I've got another thing for you.
Right.
Yeah, because obviously I know you're on
Same
this
man
Game of
that
Thrones.
had top 4 in the bag last season, and then went to White Hart Lane and pissed their pants, bruv. They
No,
went up to
facts.
Geordie Land, and saw what's his name, True Geordie, and shit their pants 3 days later.
No, facts. No, you're right. You're right. I can't even deny that.
Like,
But
the season ain't even started yet. Just like Pep said, the season has not started yet. After the World Cup, that's when the season will start.
all right, cool. I'm gonna leave it there still.
Oh, go on, roll off the dossier.
Let's not dominate. No, let's not dominate about Arsenal. It's fine. It's fine. I'm happy to move the conversation on.
Okay. Let's let's slide over to the west side of London now. Skervin, you mentioned it. Chelsea haven't looked good the last few home games. It's this worrying times now for Chelsea and especially Graham Potter.
I believe so. I don't see that the players in themselves look like they believe in what the coach is trying to implement because I don't see no urgency about them. Like you got Loftus Cheek in midfield, like losing the ball, like he's walking in his bedroom, like he's not up for the game. No, serious, bro. That's not how a Chelsea player plays, bro. In centre of midfield, bro. It don't work like that, bro.
I was saying in another group chat, yeah. Sorry to cut you off, Skervin. I was saying in another group chat, yeah. I was looking at that midfield battle on Sunday, and I feel like Arsenal play with 3 anyway because like we said in the pre-chat, Zinchenko tucks in, so Zinchenko, Partey, and Xhaka. And I'm looking at Chelsea. It's Jorginho, Loftus Cheek, and Mount. And I'm thinking, like, who in there is going to put in a tackle for Chelsea? No one. That midfield is soft, like a red velvet cake, bruv. And I looked at that, and I'm like, nah, Arsenal got this. And like, no one put in a tackle. No one got the crowd up. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So
it's
it was
just,
dead.
mate. But yeah, go on, Skervin. Sorry to interrupt.
I just don't feel that Potter is. I know past the pods I've bigged up Potter while he was at Brighton, but I just feel this job's a bit too big for him.
But
And,
do you know what? Don't you think that maybe, and I was saying this to a Chelsea fan yesterday, don't you think maybe they're changing their philosophy and they're thinking potentially it doesn't make sense to get in a short-term manager?
I don't think this owner knows squat diddly boo about football, bro.
And let's not skip the subject here, but let's be real. That's what's happened at Arsenal, yeah, in terms of Arteta. Like, we stuck through him in times where, like, even I, as an Arsenal fan, I saw a tweet yesterday where it said, where we're all...
Hello?
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Seems like Wavey's gone, bro. All right, we'll continue anyway. But in terms of Potter, do you think well, it's early days. It's been a few months. Has there been any difference in performance from Tuchel to Potter?
No, there ain't been no difference, to be honest with you. I just feel that Chelsea have become, instead of more aggressive, they've become just more passive, and especially at home. Like I said on the last pod, I said I ain't seen a Chelsea team at home play that so that on the back foot, yeah, for all game they're on the back foot, bruv. Yeah, I ain't seen that happen since Ranieri was at the club, bro. That's back in 2003.
Mm.
So that I don't see Potter working, mate. And I think the Chelsea fans will get, you know,
Do you think he's got to come out the mentality of being a Brighton manager? Maybe that's still in his head of inferiority complex when he's playing the big teams.
Sorry, can I go back to the point I was saying? 'Cause I know I cut out
Oh,
for him, but
yeah,
don't
go on. Go on.
don't you think that Chelsea are potentially saying that they're gonna? What I was trying to say about the whole project thing is that Arteta has had times where even I have, as an Arsenal fan, have been like, do you know what? I don't think this is gonna work. You know, like when he was talking about trust the process and that, it got to a point where I stopped trusting it. However, he's been able to ride through that and see brighter days. And I think that the way that clubs are going now, we always see a trend in it in how football clubs work and managers work. I think there was a period where United bought in Mourinho just to ensure that you got some silverware. And it got to that point because that's how football was led by Chelsea, to be fair. I feel like Ten Hag is more a project manager. I don't feel like he's coming in and trying to directly get success this season. Like I don't think it's built on that. So don't you think Potter might get that chance where he can, build his culture in the club? Because remember, these are
no,
not his players. That's what we have to respect as well, isn't it? These are not his players. He's come in
That's
at the
true.
middle of the season, and he's got to work with these tools that's in front of him. Like even the whole Kepa and Mendy goalkeeper situation, I think it's a bit mad because remember I was saying to you, Skerv, like Mendy was the main keeper. Potter came in, he chose Kepa. Kepa got injured and then had to choose back Mendy as his goalkeeper. So, and what is his philosophy? Like, what's the best keeper for him in his system? So, I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't feel like Potter's doing a good job right now. However, I do feel like this new culture of Chelsea might be different to what Abramovich was on because he was on, listen, trophies, if you're not on that, later. Whereas I honestly, I don't think Tuchel should have been sacked, but I think that's more an internal problem in the club.
I think, especially with American owners, they're very used to keeping coaches in charge of teams, even when the teams are bad. But if they know there's a long-term project in place, then they will keep them in charge. But if they don't
Facts.
see progress within the process, they will get rid of him. So I
Facts.
feel you can look at even with Stan Kroenke with his American teams, some of them have been rubbish, but obviously they've got a process of building the team up to get to a certain point in it. They've
Mm-hmm.
used that model with Arsenal. And I think in an ideal world, but probably in a normal world, every other owner of the Premier League club, Arteta would have been gone.
Facts. And
He
I
would have
agree.
been gone
I
probably within a
totally agree.
season.
Yeah, I totally
Probably would have
agree.
gone within a season. But where I give you have to give Stan Kroenke respect for what he's done by keeping Arteta in charge, innit? Because when everyone, and every Arsenal fan I know at some point has said Arteta out
Facts. Facts.
with their chest. They were ready to buy them
yeah,
troop shirts that said Arteta
Well,
out.
I say everyone because I know certain men that weren't on that. To be fair, there were certain men that I know that weren't, but the majority, including myself, were saying, "Yeah, it's time done now." It got
He's
to a
had a
low
great
point.
start to. He's had a great start season. Who knows how the season ends up? But at the same time, he's done well. Like if Arteta was to lose his job tomorrow, he could go and get a job somewhere else. He's even linked with the Barca job. So
100%.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? With Potter, he's not a bad manager. This is a group. This is a group and a squad of players that are just taught to play to win, not to play a certain way of football, and they've
Mm-hmm.
been ingrained in that for years. So to now suddenly to get them to play a system and a philosophy is going to be difficult. Where Arteta's had the luxury is that Arsenal weren't good when he took them over. What were they, eighth?
Yep.
So, but with Potter, Chelsea are not far removed. They were beginning of the year, they won the Club World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
A year earlier, Champions League winners. So he's not going to be afforded that luxury of even Chelsea finishing 5th or 6th and say it's a rebuilding. Nah, because Chelsea, the process has started, but you have to bring progress immediately. And that's where it's
That's
going to
for
be
me.
difficult for Potter. It has to be top 4 is the minimum for Chelsea, no matter what happens, because that squad is still good enough to finish in the top 4. It's not like the Arsenal team that Arteta inherited was pushing Europa League at best, isn't it? Potter has to deliver top 4 immediately. Then in the summer, then he can, because I think Kante's out of contract, so I think they're going to release him. I think, is it Jorginho? I think he's out of contract. You've got to get rid of some of the old guard, like whatever his name is. Him. You've got to make decisions about players like Loftus-Cheek. Is he good enough to be at Chelsea? And then you've got to bring in your own players. And then also he's got to come out of this Brighton mindset of being inferior, thinking you're inferior to the top teams. Like, you can't be letting Arsenal, Manchester United come to Stamford Bridge and believing that they can walk onto the pitch and play football. Like, Stamford Bridge usually is the toughest ground to go to in the Premier League, especially in a Big 6 game. Like, United have a terrible record at Stamford Bridge. And if we were a bit more ruthless, we would have been 3-0 up at halftime. Like, even on Sunday, I've never seen Arsenal have it so easy at Stamford Bridge. If you showed anyone football for the first time on Sunday, they would have thought Arsenal were the home team.
Yeah, true.
Like, so that's what Potter's got to get out of his system. But I think he definitely deserves time, and I think he will get it. But if the results don't pick up,
He's gone.
it's going to be impossible for Todd Bowie to ignore that noise, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
So, with that being said, Skervin, because Wavey's already said where he thinks Arsenal minimum should finish now, yeah? With that being said, we're almost at the World Cup break. I think, 14 games in now?
Yep. 13, 14 for some teams.
Where do you see Arsenal? What's the minimum? I don't want to see where you think they're going to finish, but what's the minimum now for Arsenal and where they should finish at the end of the season?
For me, the way they play, depending how they come back after the World Cup, i.e., the squad. I don't think they should think no more than second, bro.
Yeah, fair. That's very fair.
If they come back with a full squad, fit squad, I don't think Arsenal should think no less than second, to be fair.
I actually agree with that still. I ain't gonna lie. I'll put my neck on the line and say that I agree with that. Whilst I'm saying third, because it was my prediction, I am saying right now, yeah, I agree. Given the context that you said, Skerv, yeah, I'm rolling with that.
Do you think Arsenal should add in January?
And that's the next thing is.
And if they do add, where should they add?
Up front, they need a striker. They need a clinical striker. Jesus ain't doing it. But like Wavy D said, he links up the play good, then he makes the football play the football play more flowing. But
go on.
They need someone clinical, just like City's got their Haaland. Right now, they need a clinical gunman striker. And right now, before Arsenal couldn't go in the market and get no big striker, but right now a big striker will go to Arsenal.
If I'm Arsenal, I'm looking at Vlahovic at Juve. You know,
that's what I'm saying. They were in for him before.
But here's where I don't think they need a clinical striker. Because when you look at the modern day number 9s, yeah, I know a lot of people like to get on this Aubameyang would be bagging the goals that what's his name? Jesus is missing. But he bagged goals for Arsenal, and Arsenal were finished 6th and 7th and 8th.
That's my point. Thank you.
And this is what I said about Ronaldo last season, Cristiano Ronaldo. He bagged 18 goals, but we finished 6th. It's easy to score goals on a bad team, you know.
Thank you, Trey. That's
so
my
easy
point.
to score
That's what I was
goals on
trying
a
to
bad
say
team.
the other day. Because the thing is, with Aubameyang, we might score 2, but we might concede 3. Because the whole system is based around from up front to defense. And you've got one man who's deviating from that system,
and here's
it just messes up everything.
And here's why I say Martial is important to Manchester United, yeah? Because you see how he links up the play. The era of the gunman number 9, the era of the gunman number 9s is dead because there's only one serious gunman number 9 in world football. That's Haaland. The rest are hybrids. The rest are hybrids of 9s and 10s.
What I'm trying to say is Arsenal need that player when Jesus is not fit. They need a guy to say boom. They need a guy to stand up to do the same job as Jesus, and to be honest, to be more clinical. That's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Because without Jesus, you got up front to do your thing. I know they got Martin.
This is what I think is the pleasure, and maybe I'm saying this from a biased perspective, innit? But I think the pleasure of it is that even against Chelsea, Martinelli was kind of our centre forward. He wasn't actually playing left wing, if you check it, in the way that our system kind of adapted to when we had the ball.
If you watch how Arsenal play as well, yeah, it's like Saka and Martinelli are the guys that are expected to score, innit?
That's it.
And it's not Jesus. Jesus is the glue.
That's it.
Like, similar to how Martial plays for United, he's the glue. He links every man into the game, innit? Like the way, for example, you want Aubameyang. Like, put it this way: when's the last time a gunman number 9 won the Golden Boot and their team won the Premier League? There you go. You have to think, because now it's not just you stick a guy up front and he has 6 touches and scores 3 goals. Like Haaland's an anomaly, innit? Your number 9 is just as important defensively as your centre back. So what Gabriel Jesus, the only thing he doesn't provide for Arsenal is goals, but everything else he provides. And he's one of the best in Europe at doing what he does, isn't it? So for now, I think when it gets into the crunch time of the season, that's when you're going to judge Jesus, because he's going to need to pop up. Because he's been brought in to score in the big games, isn't it? When it gets to squeaky bum time, when it gets into squeaky bum time towards the end of the season, that's when Jesus is going to be needed to score goals. Yeah, because Haaland will do that for City. But right now, for what he's doing, you cannot fault it.
Right now, we've got Ronaldo in the place.
Yes, Ronaldo's here.
What's happening, lads? Everyone all right?
I'm good, mate. You missed the Potter conversation. I'm gonna give you your time because I know you've got a lot to say. I know you've got a lot to say about Graham Potter.
Is it me or is it a mad feedback?
Yeah, it's Skervin. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mute your mic. Yeah, go on, Ronaldo.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brothers, I'm here, man. What's going on?
Because we just finished talking about Potter and his if it's pressure time for him. I know you've got a lot to say on Potter. The floor is yours.
Come on, lads. Of course it's pressure time and Potter. Come on. He's lost 2 in a row in the league. He's got City in the cup and Newcastle next games. Come on, mate. This could be make or break for him. I know Chelsea fans are gonna say, yeah, he needs time, whatever, but I think they're gonna lose both them games. And let's see where the conversation goes then, innit? Because after that, it'll be the World Cup, you know? Everyone's got an appetite for football. Everyone's looking at managers, players. Come on, man. Chelsea fans ain't gonna be happy after losing 2 more games. 100%. Come on, man. Potter's
But
finished.
we were saying how obviously the American owners are a bit different in terms of dealing with their managers. They like to give them time, especially if there's a project in place. Do you think Bowie will give him that time? Considering he came in a few weeks into the season.
Yeah, I think he will. But at the same time, it's a results business, isn't it? So if the results are not adding up, come on. You know what I mean? But I think he's there for a reason, and he's there for future in it, like 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? Because Chelsea owners they got a 10-year plan, so they can't make no profit. They can't take nothing out of the club until after 10 years. So they got to think 10 years ahead. So they're trying to make Chelsea relevant in the next 10 years. Hence the reason why they signed all these young players. They got a young manager in. We're relatively young Potter, but at the end of the day, it's a results business, like I say, Dre. So
Mm.
it's the balance in it. Where's the balance? Like, when does it become? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when does it become untenable? Like when does it become a problem? Then you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like what they're gonna settle for? Top 10, or you know what I'm saying? Top 4 or trophies? It all depends in it because I think Chelsea's 7th, 8th, man. Every week
Ooh.
I watch them, it keeps getting lower. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because
But for me, they're
Sker-
7th, man.
yeah, Skervin mentioned earlier hasn't seen any difference between Potter and Tuchel football. What I know you've said. Oh, what's your thoughts basically? Do you think there's any difference between Potter and Tuchel when it comes to Chelsea? Is it better? Is it worse?
Big difference. Big difference. Big difference. Before, they was boring, innit? They're Chelsea. Boring football, but they get results. Organized, defensively solid. You know what I'm saying? They'll stay in games, nick a game, set piece. You know what I'm saying? Free kick, corners. That's Chelsea. We know they'll get the results. Even look at their Champions League. Come on, City. Come on, it was all over them for the whole game, but that's Chelsea. They'll get the result. But see now under Potter, like I, it's just
Can I say one
confusion,
thing
bro.
though? Can I say
Yeah,
one thing though? Evening, Ronaldo, you good, bro?
yeah, love my
Hey,
brother.
love, bro. Um, there is a difference, and the difference is that there was passion under Tuchel, bro. Like Tuchel had look at the touchline thing between Tuchel and Conte at the end of that game. Tuchel was a passion man. Like at least he had a little bit about him in energy. And I know everyone says Potter's this great philosopher, manager, and he studied these psychology degrees at university. I think that's all great. But when we're actually talking about a football team and a football club, Tuchel had these players up for the games. And that's the difference.
But they say players mirror their manager.
But there you go. There you go, bro. Chelsea look passive, bro. So anyway, that's all I had to say on that. Bro. But
I think
yeah,
I think they're
Tuchel had
just
energy.
confused. Yeah, Tunchel, yeah. He's come on, man. He's a world class. He's top class manager, man. He's not just any guy. Come on, bro. He conceded what 24 goals in what first 50 games, 23 goals. So he shows you can see his formula. It might be boring, but it works. It gets results. It gets trophies. You know what I mean? But with Potter, it's just confusion. Like, how can a manager in the Premier League, yeah, 2-3 games in a row, change his tactics 20 minutes in. Come on, bro. If it's not 20 minutes in, he's changing his tactics at half time.
And
Come on,
that's
man.
not that's a good point because
Come on.
that's not good because
You
the
know what I
players
mean? Like,
don't
come
know
on, man.
the player, especially when you come into a team and players want to have some sort of familiarity with what's going on, comfortability with knowing that if I'm playing today, I know exactly where I'm playing. If I'm Raheem Sterling, 1 minute you're up front with Aubameyang, the next week you're playing wing back next to Kukaman. What's his name?
There you
Cucurella and
go.
that.
There you go.
Man's the Kuka, man.
And bro, yeah, he does it with Kai as well. 1 minute
Mm,
Kai is up front, central striker. Then the next minute he's number 10. Then
mm.
one game I see him on the wing. You know what I'm saying, Trey? The guy's tactics is just it's weird. Like, for instance, yeah, Cucurella, because you touched on him. When he was at Brighton, he wasn't a centre back. Why all of a sudden now he's a centre back? It's just confusing with Pot. Like, I don't understand him sometimes. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, whatever, and say, all right, let me see what Chelsea's like. Bro, every game I watch him, he changes his tactics. Every game. It's like he's learning on the job. You know, like that. Like it's one of them ones, man.
But yeah,
Happy to move on from Arsenal, though. Happy to move on from Arsenal.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you are, John.
Yeah, we're quickly. Ronaldo. We did talk about Arsenal briefly, but just want to get your thoughts quickly. Where do you think? What's the minimum Arsenal should expect now from the rest of the season?
As I've said before, Arsenal's going to be there until the end, innit? They've shown that every week. Even when they lose games, the football they play, you have to respect it, innit? That brand of football can win you the Premier League. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I ain't said Arsenal's going to be the only team to challenge City this season. I've said it weeks ago, months ago. You know what I mean? Like, I think not because Wavey's here, you know what I'm saying, but bro, kudos to Arsenal, innit? They're playing proper football. You know what I'm saying? And I like how they're playing. I like what they're doing. And I think, yeah, they will challenge all the way to the end. They might even nick it. Who knows?
All right, calm down.
Why not?
Calm down.
Why not?
It's not. Oh gosh, I know. I
That's
know we're
good.
like what? Yeah, Skervin.
That's
I
good.
know. We're what? I know this is breaking up for the World Cup break, but we're not halfway through the season yet. So let's
What you
just.
saying? What you saying, Dre? When the rubber meets the road, yeah.
I've always said it's when it gets to February, March, and like it gets to the squeaky bum time of the season when Arsenal are expected to win games and they have to win games. That's when I want to see Arsenal. Like to me, like I said, it's a big win on Sunday because they won away at one of the big six teams, isn't it? But they've got to go to Anfield. If they can go to Anfield later in the season when they need to win a game and win, that's when I'll be like, all right, cool. And they're still close to the top. All right, cool. They're in the mix. But Sunday was the first win this season. When I'm like, all right, cool, because they've won away at one of the top six teams. And if you want to win the league, you have to at least win away at maybe a couple of the big six teams, in it. So my jury would be out towards. I've always said this end of the season with Arsenal because it's all good doing this now. Last season they flopped. They shit the bed towards the end of last season. To me, I need to see the whole season in totality. Then I'll judge Arsenal.
Can I just say, yeah, one thing with Arsenal, yeah? Arsenal is geared for the Prem. Put a spanner in the works, yeah? Say Arsenal was to recruit one of the top 5-10 players from the World Cup and add to that squad. What would you say? Exactly. Arsenal
Depends who it is. Depends who it is,
That's
isn't it?
my point. They're in the perfect position to win
But
the Premier League.
who's really gonna let go of one of their top players in January after they've had a good World Cup? And you're gonna add that's gonna add like 20 million to their price tag. Big transfers don't really happen in January as well.
That's my point. But this is a particular season. This is a season that's never happened before. Things are gonna happen because players are gonna want to perform at the World Cup to get a move, because we know that's football, innit? That's how football's geared. So because it's happening in mid-season, I think a lot of transfers are gonna happen in January. That's just my opinion. I think Arsenal definitely gonna recruit. because they're geared for the Prem. They've got Edu, yeah, that's doing the business off the pitch. And they got Mikel Arteta that's doing the business. You understand? On the sidelines. And they got the players that's going out there under pressure, performing. Kudos to Arsenal, Jay, man.
I couldn't
You
have
have to
said it
give,
any better. I couldn't have
you
said
know
it
what I
any
mean?
better.
You have to
But
give them their credit, Dre. They're ahead of us in the process.
he's never going to give us
Ah,
our credit. So
whoa, whoa,
let's
whoa,
not go
whoa,
too far.
whoa,
Let's
whoa,
not go
whoa,
too
whoa.
far. We're
Whoa,
never going to get
whoa,
our credit.
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. You see,
You know
there's
what I
certain
mean?
teams, like I've said way back at the start of the season, there's certain teams that if they were in this position right now, I would give them their credit. See, if Newcastle were doing this, I'll give them their credit. But certain teams, even if United were in this position, I'll give them their credit. But Arsenal, because of what happened at the back end of last season, I can't. Because they could have this good start and shit the bed. And who knows, could finish outside the top four. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. I doubt it will happen, considering the start they've had to the season. But if it does happen, then why am I giving them credit for what they're doing now? To me, Arsenal, it's the end of the season. I need to see them.
Bro, we can only
I need
work
to
with the
see.
information in front of us, bro. We can
Well,
only work.
I work with the full plate, and that full plate will be presented to me after 38 games.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. No
The
problem.
jury will be out, even out 37 games, and they've got a 1 point lead, and their final home game is against, I don't know, who's bottom of the league? Forest. Still beat jury out.
Fair play, Jay. But all I'm gonna say is the last thing I'm gonna say about Arsenal is like everyone's expecting them to lose every week, innit? And they keep winning. So
But I don't think that. I don't think that right now, I think everyone's expecting them now to win.
I think Arsenal have learnt from last season. You see, the more you talk about last season, what happened last season, they was in a transition phase last season. They was learning. They was young, Jay. I was saying that. You remember, I was telling you,
Yeah,
these guys are young. But you see, this season, they've matured. Saka, match winner. Odegaard, match
but,
winner. Jesus, match winner. Martinelli,
but,
match
here,
winner. You see,
but,
football,
here,
that's what football's about, you know.
but
You see,
it's
when you
easy.
got certified man on the pitch, you got a chance. You know, like
But
that. I
it's
have to keep
easy
it
to
real.
win these games now, innit? It's the pressure cooker games towards the end of the season.
Okay.
It's
Fair
the
You know what it is, Dre? You just got this perception that Arsenal play football against teams that is like by like 10%, but because it's like we're playing against every team with a default naturally just because our name's Arsenal.
What have I said? I've always said Arsenal play the best football in the league, and at the end of the day, you beat what's in front of you. They've done well, but as I've said to everyone here, I've said the way they finished last season wasn't even on the players; it was on the manager, because he didn't negotiate those final few games properly, and they finished what, 5th?
Nah,
It's going to come down to
I
that.
don't think
It's
you can
going to
blame
come
the
down to
manager.
that
I
again.
don't think you can blame the manager.
You've got to
for
get
that
your players
tackle.
right, especially if you're going to
Jay,
Tottenham, North London derby towards the end of last season. That's on him. You set
I
your
don't think you
players
can
up.
blame
They
the
shat
manager.
the bed.
I don't even
They
think you
look
can
like
blame the manager for giving away a penalty.
Deer in headlights. They went to St James's Park. This ain't the same Newcastle that we're seeing now. The Newcastle Globetrotters and that, with Almiron looking like bloody prime, I don't know, Luis Figo and that. You went there with John Joe Sylvie and what's his name? Steve Longstaff and that, and you got beat. That's on the manager. That's what I'm saying. The one game, they've had certain games this season where they've done well, but Manchester United away, where Arsenal had us on the ropes. I thought Arsenal were going to win when they made it 1-1. My man's will making 3 substitutions going gun ho with half an hour left. Them type of decisions there might not mean nothing now, but in the bigger games towards the end of the season, if he does sinners like that, that can cost you the league.
What's he done since then? What's he done since then? And
He ain't played no one big. He ain't had one of those big games yet.
We haven't played Liverpool. We ain't played Liverpool.
Oh, the corpse of Liverpool.
Jay, you gotta be balanced.
They passed the test.
We ain't played Chelsea. We didn't play Chelsea.
Wait, I just said they passed the test on Sunday. They passed the test on Sunday. They passed the test. That's a good test. Well done. Kudos. All right, you've got to go to the empty hand. You've got to go to Anfield, and you've got to go to the toilet bowl at North London, innit?
All right,
That's
bro.
it.
I'm going on mute.
Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. And I'm not an Arsenal hater. I'm a critique of Arsenal. Innit? Critique. Anyway.
It's them years, girl. You remember them years, girl? Them
Ah,
Vieira
love.
days. Them
We
Vieira
need to
days.
let go, bro. We need to let
Let
go.
it go,
He's
Jay.
moving,
Let it
he's
go.
Ah,
moving like
love
Roy
it.
Keane, bro. He's moving like Roy Keane, cuz.
Anyway, on to the weekends, the rest of the weekend's games. Some very entertaining games on Saturday. Leeds 4, Bournemouth 3. Boy, Leeds come back from what? 3-1 down? 3-0 down? Wait, hold on. Yeah, 3-0 down. No, yeah. 2-1 down. 3-1 down. Yeah. They're 3-1 down to beat Bournemouth. Off the back of their sensational win at the Pansies a week earlier. Is this now a turning point for Justin Timberlake and Leeds United?
I hope so. I want Leeds to stay up, to be honest with you. Leeds is a Premier League club in my
Yeah,
eyes.
mate.
And
Football heritage.
you know what I mean? And I hope it's a turning point. And that brother, what's his name? Somerville or whatever, he
Yeah.
scored again, didn't he? Last minute again. I mean,
Baller.
what
3
a-
games in
what
a
a,
row.
yeah, man, what a month he's having. You know what I mean? So, yeah, mate, continue for Leeds.
Well, they're up to 12th with that win. On 15 points. Bournemouth another defeat. They're now just a point above the relegation zone. Got to say they're a bit unlucky. 2 weeks in a row, they had Tottenham on the ropes and then lost that game. Lost to Leeds late on at the weekend. Is it now that we're starting to see Bournemouth reverting back to type now? And
I don't think it's unlucky. I ain't gonna lie. I think that's poor game management in both scenarios. I think the Tottenham one's a bit more understandable, if I'm being honest. I can get that one a bit more to some extent, but this one, yeah, I don't think there's no excuses for it, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, yeah, I think Bournemouth are in problems, right? If I'm being honest.
but they're really in the real world, they are a championship team in the Premier League. So even if they lose and they're 3-0 up, I'm not really surprised, to be honest. But I agree with you in a way. 2-goal leads in last 2 games and you've lost. Not pretty good, to be honest. Next game, Manchester City left it late against Fulham. Another win. City still keeping pace with Arsenal. But are we starting to see an over-reliance on Erling Haaland with Manchester City?
Ain't it natural though? Ain't it natural if everyone's saying that, everyone, not to make it about Arsenal again, but everyone's saying that we need this big number 9 centre forward who's going to bang goals in, etc. If that's the case, then you need someone like Haaland, right? So if he's delivering the goods, for me, as far as I'm concerned, we can't really say that over relying on it. If you're going to have a man who's going to score goals, and if you're going to have a goalkeeper that's going to just save penalties, just left, right, and centre, and save you in certain games, then you just got to use what you got in it. You got to use the tools that's in front of you. So, and I know everyone's saying that when Haaland gets injured, it's going to change for City, etc. For me, I don't necessarily think so. I think they've got different systems that they'll play and adjust to type in terms of what they've got in front of them. As we know, they've got players like Mahrez, Gundogan, etc. that can do bits. So, and credit to them for using Haaland. What's he got now? 17 goals.
I believe so. Yeah.
Is it 17 goals? So in what 13
He'll
games?
probably score a hat trick at the weekend.
Really got Brentford, innit? Yeah, he's my captain fantasy football team this weekend, 100%.
Yeah, probably.
But here's my thing, yeah, why I say over reliance, because I remember at the start of the season, we were like, City need to get used to playing with Haaland. and that style of play. But now they're used to Haaland. If there's a run of games where he's not playing, obviously the balls that obviously De Bruyne is finding Haaland with, obviously the guy won't be there in it. So they'll be so used to playing with Haaland that there isn't like I know City have got obviously their usual style of playing, but there isn't. They might not be used to going back to that plan B, if you know what I mean.
But they got still a gun them up on their bench, bro. What's his name?
Who, Alvarez?
Yeah, he's gunman,
Yeah,
man.
he's not Haaland though. He's not
Nah,
Haaland.
but
No,
come
but
on though. Look at his
he can
record.
adjust to them. He can adjust to their system, though.
Look at the goal on the weekend. Look at the
That
goal.
was a good goal. Good goal.
Could have finished. He's a baller, man.
He's a baller, bro. Trust me.
He's a baller. They're not gonna play Haaland every game. I've already said this. He's gonna get
They don't
rested.
need to.
They're gonna play different systems, Jake. Come on, like they
Mm.
can't. There's teams, yeah. As the season gets down to the nitty gritty, that's gonna plan for Haaland, bruv. Come on, man. It's Prem ball, bro. This is elite football. You think like he's gonna mix it up? He's gonna bring him on. He's gonna take him off. He's gonna do what he needs to do to win games, bro. It's all
So-
about the results.
So now the clocks have gone back. This is usually when City start playing ball. So when do you think City are going to end up with a 10-point lead?
Well. On that note, you said, yeah, you confidently said that City are going to be 4 points clear by the time of the World Cup.
Yeah, I
Valid
did say
point.
that.
Valid
did.
point.
You said that with chest, yeah.
Yes,
Now your chest ain't got no
Valid
hair
point.
in it.
I know.
Well, it could be one. It could be 1 point. It could be 1 point by the end of this weekend, couldn't it?
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You're
I might be
changing
3 points
your
off.
team,
I
brother.
might
You're
be 3 points
changing
off. But what have I always said? When the clocks go back, that's when City's hit their run of 4 minutes. So we got until what, the end of March? So plenty of time for City to get a 10-point lead.
It's a different season, Jay.
Nah, not really.
It's a different
Not really. Because City done the same thing in the COVID season, didn't they? Remember, Haaland ain't gone to the World Cup.
This ain't COVID.
Is Algeria at the World Cup? Is Mahrez at the World Cup? Nope.
This ain't COVID, bro.
It's pretty much the same as COVID, bruv, because you're playing games every 3 days. And it's going to be even worse after the World Cup. Because remember, there's 25 games to come, 25 rounds of games after the World Cup. And the World Cup's, the Premier League's back after Boxing Day.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
the
be
same
worse
for
after.
every team, though, Jay. It's
Exactly.
the same.
So it's literally the same as the COVID season, bruv. Games every 3 days, bruv.
It's not, man. The stadiums
It
are
is.
packed. There's the appetite for football. The fans are out.
Bruv,
I think at the
it's gonna
Emirates,
be a
Arsenal will beat
10-point
anyone.
lead.
What would you say?
What do you do?
Arsenal will beat anyone now at the Emirates. They'll beat
Well,
anyone.
they're supposed to beat everyone at the Emirates. It's the
I'm just-
Emirates, bruv.
Thank you. So you know
The
what that
same
means.
like United are meant to beat everyone that comes to Old Trafford, bruv. It's
But
Old
I don't
Trafford.
think they will, though. I don't think they will.
Old
That's
Trafford,
my point.
innit?
But you see,
Every
with
team that comes
Arsenal,
to
yeah,
empty had, City are meant to win.
you see Arsenal last season, that City game, when they're playing good
They-
football.
And they lost. I don't care about good football when you
agree.
playing big teams. It's all about
I
winning,
agree.
bruv. It's the truth,
I
though.
agree. But
Thank you.
I'm saying I agree. But I agree they lost the game, Jay. But there was things that happened within the game. But my point is, yeah, they haven't changed. They've stuck to their
Moral
philosophy.
victories off
Get
of
it?
minor league coaches. Jay-Z
I'm
said
just
it.
saying, a team like that's dangerous. See, when a team's confident in how they play,
Brother,
they will go anywhere and play their ball,
do you
Jay.
think
I'm telling
Why are
you.
we talking?
You
Why are we
think
talking about Arsenal when we're talking about City? Don't even
hey, blame the Arsenal fan in disguise, Ronaldo, innit?
Allow Ronaldo.
Boy,
fam.
like,
Allow Ronaldo.
I'm just trying to
Anyway,
give the
don't
team
like
at
that
the
it
top
keeps
the
it-
props.
you
innit?
just don't like that
Team
it
at the
keeps it
top.
Move on to the next game. Football heritage.
Hey, wait. Let's touch on Fulham,
oh.
Jay. That's my team, man.
Oh yes,
See,
oh
Fulham.
yes. Andres Pereira,
Fulham.
touch on your boy. Preseason
Yeah,
Pirlo
man.
doing it actually in the Premier League for once.
Nah, but come on, lads. Yeah, Fulham gave them a game, though. They
They
gave
did.
them a good game. Exactly. See, Fulham. I think Fulham's gonna do well this season. Definitely. That's why I wanted to touch on them. I think Fulham, like I say, they're going for European spot, man. 7th, 8th. They're in the mix, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have won that game. No Mitrovic as well. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on Pereira, another goal. Don't know. Yeah,
We got
keep
them
the
on Sunday.
stats ticking.
You know he's going to score on Sunday against us. You know that. innit?
See,
It's just written in the stars, isn't
that's
it?
why I wanted to touch on them because I know Fulham's a good team. They're underrated. They drew with Liverpool, gave Chelsea a good game. Fulham's a good team, man. They're a good team. Tricky, but yeah.
Yeah. Next game, Nottingham Forest against Brentford. Oi, 2-2. What's your thoughts on Forest? Still bottom of the league. Brentford a bit of a stagnation at the moment in terms of their form. In terms of Forest, is that a game they should have won?
Definitely. Yeah, at home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a game they should be looking to win. You get me? You're getting some points out of. I don't see where they're gonna get points from. It's been a pretty hard time for them, to be honest. But with all these players that have come in, they found it hard, and I think the manager's found it hard himself as well. Um, I think they're gonna go down. To be honest, I don't see
Just
where they're gonna get points.
what do you think about Jesse Lingard? Because he's been getting away with it.
Like, Jesse's good, man. Jesse's chilling, bro. He signed his 1 year contract, bro. He's getting in his piece. He knows what he's doing.
That's so
He
true.
knows what he's
Uh,
doing.
he's
He's just
he's an embarrassment to Manchester United. Sorry, man. I had to get that in there, man. Like
mate.
he's been shocking so far for us. It's just a waste of time, waste of money. You know what I mean? But they got cash to splash. But what's he really done for the cause? What's he really done for us?
Honestly, he's the worst signing of the season by far.
Contender, definitely a contender.
By
100%.
far. To me, you went there. He went there as the talisman. He was the marquee signing.
He was on the bench on the weekend just to put that in there. Couldn't
He's
even get
been
in the team.
useless. He's been
Came
absolutely useless.
came on
man.
as a sub, running around. Like, come on, can't even get into Forest
Doing
team, mate.
exactly what he was doing the second half of last season under Ralph, bro. Useless. He's just, to me, I've never been a fan of him, to be honest. But yeah, he's just
He'll be an
shame.
American next season. He'll be an American next
He should have went
season.
with West Ham. United should have allowed him to go to West Ham a year ago, but
he would have probably been on the bench as well at West Ham, Jay. Come
no,
on,
because
I'm
remember
telling you.
he came
See
off the
players
back
like
of that loan spell at
They,
West Ham, innit?
they wanted him back, but he never
Yeah,
wanted to
Yeah.
go.
No, I think
they
Yeah,
wanted
but
to
Ollie
pay the money.
guaranteed him. Ollie guaranteed him would get game time, innit?
Yeah.
And well,
No,
obviously,
but they never paid. They want no in the summer.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, they wanted him back
they
in it. But
weren't
I think
they weren't
Forest
willing
offered
to
him
pay
more
him
money,
the
innit?
money. Yeah. That's it. But he knew what he was doing because he only signed for a year. So you know what I mean. He's just getting his piece, and then he'll be off to the States next year.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, Wolves 2, Brighton 3. Back-to-back wins for the new Brighton manager, De Zerbi. Wolves are in the mud. They've got a new manager coming in next week, the ex-Sevilla manager. What's your guys' thoughts on the new manager at Wolves? Lopetegui. Will he be able to lift Wolves' fortunes and get them up the table?
To be fair, I don't know too much
yeah.
about him. If I'm honest, was he Atletico Bilbao's manager? Was he?
Sevilla, wasn't he? He was,
Was he
yeah,
Sevilla?
Sevilla, yeah. Ex-Spain
Yeah,
manager, but he only
Sevilla.
lasted about 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know too much about him. If I'm honest with you, but yeah, we'll see
Didn't he
what
get
he's about.
sacked just before the last Euros with Spain? Like
Ah, it's
literally a
true.
week before the tournament started, he got sacked,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Yeah. He's a good manager still, ex-Real Madrid manager, I think. I think he got sacked, I think. Is it him? Yeah. He's a good
Yeah,
manager still.
he's a good manager, man. He's a
He
good
was linked with
coach.
United
I think
before Ten Hag got it as well.
you do well. You do well, Wolves. They're good
Would he
ballers down there.
would
I
he
think
would he be able to keep them?
Yeah, 'cause I think they got enough talent to stay up. 100%. Wolves is a good team. They're worst teams in the Prem.
And a good win for Brighton. They are now up to 6th in the league after back-to-back wins. Are they in the mix for the European spots? Because they're level on points with Chelsea. Or will they end up falling away?
Nah, I think they'll fall away eventually, unless like the manager said if he gets a new centre back. You know what I mean? So I don't think that defense is good enough to be in the European spots.
All right. The late game on Saturday. Everton 0, Leicester 2. Boy, James Maddison. I know we're going to touch on this a bit later with the World Cup squad and that, but he's got to go to the World Cup, right?
Well, looks like it. Looks like he's going, man. I can't see how they're going to deny him. However, I'm going to be honest. Going to the World Cup and playing at the World Cup are two different things. I can't see how Southgate is going to adapt him into his system so late in the day. That's the thing. I just think we got such a one-dimensional manager for England that there's certain man that's going to get called up, but there's certain man that's just not going to play and influence the game. And even at times where I think the game might be 0-0, it might be 60 minutes in, I don't think Southgate's that manager to think, let me try and be creative. Because it's going to deviate from his system too much. We were talking about systems earlier, innit? And Man City and being fluid and changing that system. But Southgate's just not that guy for me. So Maddison's going. But yeah, I don't think he's playing. But can I just say one thing? If it wasn't Frank Lampard at Everton, would he still have a job? Because when he joined the club, yeah, they were 16th. They finished 16th. Right now, he's 16th. And if this was Patrick Vieira, I don't think he would be getting this time. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go on mute.
Oh, that is a very good point, Ronaldo. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm gonna disagree. I think Lamps is doing a brilliant job. Seriously, I think he's turned that club around because they've been fighting relegation for a minute. Everton's been struggling under different managers. A few managers came, went. Yeah, them like they're playing good football. You know what I mean? They're how can I say it? They're better than how they was last season. I know they're still in the same position, or you can't see the improvement, but in terms of football, what they're doing on the pitch, they look more like a team that can stay in the Prem.
Alex Iwobi, best DM in the league.
See, for example, there you go, in it. That's my point. Like even getting in Cody, Tarkowski, you know what I mean? That they look a bit more solid, in it. They got 3 centre backs. They got, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. 5 at the back. You know what I mean? Got Iwobi threading balls through. Come on, man. Like they look you know what I mean? They look
Here's
a half
why,
decent team.
Here's why in a normal season, I would agree with what you're saying, Wavy, but I can't this season because it's so tight from 11th downwards in the league. Even from Liverpool downwards, there's only 6 points separate Bournemouth in 17th from Liverpool in 8th. So a couple of, even 4 points for your next 2 games, and Everton would be a top 11th mid-table.
I'm just saying, bro. Like reading between the lines of what I'm saying. If Patrick Vieira was at Everton and done exactly what Frank Lampard had been doing and has done right now, would he still have a job? That's my question.
He would. I think he would. I think he would.
All right, cool.
I think he would.
Cool.
I think he would. Because no team's cut adrift in it. If you know what I mean. Like, if this was 16th and you're literally like in the mix of a relegation battle and the team above you's at 5 or 7 points clear, then cool. But because you're literally a couple of wins away from being a eighth or ninth in the Premier League, then at the moment it looks bad. The optics looks bad, but when you actually take it into like, actually look at the league table as it is.
I get it.
It's
Do you know what? I
not
get it. I
that
get it.
bad.
To be fair, I get it. Because they'll be further behind. Because the Queen died, the game against us got cancelled. So they would be
Because
further.
you
They
look
would
at
be
Leicester,
further
yeah.
behind.
Look at Leicester. What 8? They had 8 points a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, bottom of the league. They've won 2 games in a row and are now 14th.
Yeah,
So
I hear you.
but boy, if they don't pick up, if they finish like 60th, Lampard's got to go 100%. Because where's the improvement? But moving on to Sunday's games. Usually we'd have a deep dive on Man United, but because there's so much to talk about, we're just gonna briefly touch on this game. Aston Villa 3, Manchester United 1. Aston Villa's first win against Manchester United at Villa Park since Alan Hansen said you cannot win nothing with kids back in 1995. That's how good of a record we've had at Villa Park. Lads, I know someone in this discussion wants to mock us. Before we let him have his day, lads, the game was done after 10 minutes, but what was your thoughts on the game, the team selection? Where did it go wrong at Villa Park?
Good evening.
Scare, I let you go first, Scare, because you already know what I'm gonna say. So you know what I mean.
I'm just glad that I was hanging that I never got to see the match. Uh, my great friend there, Wavy D, called me. I think it was 20 minutes into the game. Is that right, Wavy D?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, mate, do you know the scores?" I goes, "Yeah, I know Arsenal won." He goes, "No, you know United score." "No." He goes, "Well, Villa beat United 2-0." I goes, "What?" So anyway, I flicked it on and I see what I go on. Oh man, do you know what it is though, lads? It's a process. That's what we're in right now. We're in that process. You get me? And things ain't gonna be rosy the way we want it. Obviously, we're getting gas with the last couple wins and whatnot, but it's a process, isn't it? And what I've realized, our team is very thin. The squad's thin, bro. To get me, we ain't got players that can come in and do the job, and players that he can trust at the moment. Do you get me? We've got 11, and that's that. But after that, we need more players in, man. But yeah, it's a bump in the road that they were saying, but you know, we go again the next game. It's not the end of the world.
Ronaldo, is this more than a bump on the road?
Of course it is. It shows the cracks. You know when you get a band-aid, yeah, when you got a sore and you cover it with a few, like, it's still there though, innit? So every so often, yeah, it pops out, innit? And it shows itself. This is what happens when you keep players that's just been rubbish for seasons upon seasons, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, see Lindelof, yeah? Lads, did anyone see, like, what the guy was doing? Van der Beek. Did these
Bruv.
guys like turn up to play, or they just on the pitch because, like Skur says, the squad's thin and we just need numbers? Because that's all they was doing is making up numbers. So we got 11. That's it. They weren't doing anything else on the pitch. Like, it was embarrassing, bro. I saw like Watkins took the ball, yeah, and dribbled all the way No challenge, no nothing, no trying to push him, nothing, heckle him, nothing. He just
Kick man
watched the
down.
guy dribble
Beast.
with the ball all the way and just done what he wanted to do. It's embarrassing. I'm
Sorry to
telling
cut
you,
you.
lads.
Sorry to cut you, Ronaldo. Sorry to cut you, brother. But I know I've been cussing like Bruno and that, yeah. But without Bruno in that team, yeah, there's no energy. Like he brings the energy, but he's just so flipping frustrated that he gives away the ball too much, bruv. That's my only thing with him. But that game there, it showed how much we missed him. Still, I'm not gonna lie. And
Here,
that Donny had gone, yeah.
here's my thing. Yeah, it's very similar to that. We'll go back to Arsenal, where I said about Jesus and Martinelli and Saka. In modern day football, you need to defend. Your attackers are just as important defensively as your centre backs, isn't it? You press from the front. They set the tempo and the tone of the pressing and the defending nowadays. Those front three at Arsenal do that exceptionally. You tell me, out of that front three that started on Sunday, out of Garnacho, Ronaldo, who don't press at all, and Rashford who jogs around, who's pressing? There you go. And you've got that ballet dancer, Victoria Lindelof, who just let man run around the touchline, come back inside and play in Bailey for the first goal. Bro, listen, kick man down, bruv. Get a yellow card.
Can I
You've
be
got to have
real?
that nastiness in your game, bruv. Go on.
Can I be real? Can I be real, bro? And I know you think I'm gonna banner, and honestly, you know I love a banner, but I'm gonna actually be real. Like, and man's not saying this from a condescending point of view, innit? But Man United are a couple years behind where Arsenal were. Like, so I'm talking about from a position of seeing exactly what's going on in your club. Remember, we've both lost the long-term managers, and to be real, for Ten Hag, it's very, very early days for him, innit? Just like what I was saying about Potter earlier. These are not his players, innit? He's come in, he's tried to influence a change, he's tried to influence a philosophy, he's tried to influence some kind of discipline, but he still hasn't had that time to implement these things yet, innit? And for me, football goes through phases, innit? And we're now looking at project managers. Just like I was saying with Potter, in it, like Ten Hag's got to have his time to actually implement the project that he sees fit for the future of the club. So, whereas these players are not his, you're gonna see certain games where they're gonna step up to the plate and they're gonna perform. But you can also see certain games where, like Dallo, certain times looks like a world beater, and other times I'm watching United and I'm thinking, right, this ain't the same guy that was playing last week. And naturally, that's just part of where your club identity is at the moment. So, whilst I get it and I understand the frustration from you man's perspective, fundamentally, changes ain't going to happen overnight. Innit? And there's going to be a time where it's going to get even worse than this. But equally, you're going to put out a performance like you did against Arsenal and beat us.
I totally agree. Oh God.
Can I say something though? This is the thing with me and Ten Hag, yeah, and Manchester United as a whole. Because I'm not just gonna put it on 10 in it. See at Arsenal, I hate to bring them up, but I use them in it because these guys are cut from the same cloth in it. They're trying to play proper football the right way. But you see why I rate Arteta from when Arsenal was struggling. Guess what he did? What Ten's not doing. Tell me, Wavey, please. What did Arteta do?
Stuck to the floor.
Also, he played the kids. He gave them opportunity.
Yeah, but that's our identity. That's what I'm saying. That's the
That's
philosophy.
Manchester United identity as well. But we've
No,
lost
it's
our way.
not.
That's the
No, it's
thing what I say,
not.
yeah.
No, it's
Like
not, bruv. When
it
do we play
is.
the kids, bruv?
It
It's
is.
not.
You
It's
see
not,
a
bruv.
Man U, yeah. If you're good
Don't
enough,
let
you
that
play in it.
class of 92 gas
It's
you
not
and let
just
you believe that,
92, Dre.
bruv.
It's not just
It's
92,
not.
Dre. It's
How
not
many
just
young
92.
players since the class of 92 have actually bossed and had a successful career?
This is my point why I blame Manchester United as
Hmm?
well. It's not just the manager
What, John
because you
O'Shea and
see
Wes Brown
you see at
and
Arsenal,
Rashford?
yeah. At Arsenal, the structure's there, innit? Edu does his job off the pitch. The recruitment is on point. So the manager is getting the right recruitment of
The
players. So
class of '92
even
was
when
30 years
look,
ago.
even when Arsenal's struggling, they stuck to their philosophy, innit? Smith Rowe, Saka. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they stuck to their philosophy. They're playing these kids, yeah. Martinelli, they're blooding them in. People are on Arteta's back, but I can see what he's doing. You see Ten Hag, what I don't like here, Dre. We already know these players have failed us. You see what Lindelof's done, yeah? I've seen him do it numerous occasions. I remember when Bruno Fernandes first came to the club and we was playing Seville away, yeah, and De Jong scored that goal. He turned around there and gave man a bollocking on the pitch, you know. Because he's like, bruv, you're rubbish. I saw it, Drake. You see, from then, that's the best season Bruno's had. And he still has to go in the trenches and dig in with these men. He's already told the man on
But
live on the pitch, like, bro, you're rubbish. You're Lindelof and them guys, Dre, yeah, they've already failed us. Give the youths a chance. You see, if we
So
lost
who's
that
better?
game,
Wait. Who out of the youngest is better than Lindelof and Maguire?
it doesn't matter.
What do you
Let's see
mean?
them, innit? Let's see them,
What do
innit?
you
Because we
mean?
already know Lindelof is
Bruv,
gonna
you
fail us.
can't make them. You can't bring in these young bucks in at centre back
Why
because
can't you
they
play
make a
Mengi
mistake.
as centre back? Why?
They make a mistake, and that's everyone on them, bruv. It's not the same as bringing in a young buck that goes gonna go play for
All
Brighton,
right,
bruv.
cool. All
Because
right,
you
cool.
can make a mistake and no one's gonna care. Innit?
Why
They
did
make a
Arsenal?
mistake.
Why did Arsenal bring in Saliba? Is he proven in the Prem?
They sent him on loan for 3 years, bruv.
Is he proven in the Prem? You're
They
not
sent
answering
him
my
on
question.
loan for 3 years.
Is he proven in the Premier League, Jake?
It don't matter if you're proven in the Prem. He's had
Oh
3
my
years
gosh.
of top level football experience, bro.
Oh my God, Jay, that's
You're
my
the same
point.
guy that said he is what was
Look, listen,
France under
lads,
21 player of the year.
lads. Where did Martinelli come from? Where did Martinelli come from? Where did Saka come from? These are the match winners, isn't it? See
But
Odegaard, yeah.
Arsenal were not expected
See
to do
Odegaard.
anything then, bro.
See Odegaard. He was on loan, innit? You know how young he was. The manager trusted him. See when the fans was getting on his back, Arteta out. No,
Brother,
I trust you, son.
Odegaard came from Real
Listen.
Madrid.
No, he didn't. He was on loan at Sociedad. He couldn't get into Madrid.
Brother, Real Madrid bought him, fam.
Yeah, but he
I've
couldn't.
seen
He
him
never
play
played
for
for
Real
Madrid.
Madrid in the Champions League. He did play. What are you talking
Jay,
about?
come on, man.
I've
He was
seen
on
him
loan
with
for
my
how
own
many
eyes.
years? He
Brother,
went to
I've seen him
Madrid
with
at
my own
15
eyes
years old.
play for
He
Real
went
Madrid
there
in the
15
Champions League.
years
Bro.
old, Jay.
They
He ain't
played
played for
against who is
Madrid.
it? Inter Milan, and they beat them, bro. And Odegaard was one of the best players on the pitch.
Bro,
Stop
come
it
on,
about.
bro.
It's not the
Come
same
on,
as
bro.
us with Garnacho, bro. The guy's
Of
got
course
top
it is
level
the same.
experience.
Of course
It's
it
not the
is the
same.
same.
What are you talking about?
Listen, where did Martinelli come from, Jay? How did you see him? How is it
Bruv,
not
I
the
don't know
same?
where
I
they
don't
got him from.
understand.
They got him from the
Thank
favelas
you.
of Brazil, bruv.
Thank you. Where did Saka come from?
But Odegaard's not the same as Garnacho. Calm down with that one.
But it's the
It's not the
same, bro.
same.
It's
It's not the
football.
same.
If you're good enough, you play in it. Trust the players. We've already seen these players fail. It's like Arsenal. He had to make big decisions, Arteta. You know what he did? Just like Nani told you before the Chelsea game, everyone's scared of Arteta because Arteta came in and he got rid of the captain. The man's on the biggest wages. The man's that's got all the bravado. No, I'm not on that. Go over there. I'll work with Eddie and Ketia. Arteta out. No, I got plans. Don't worry, Edu. Just give me someone. 9 games, no goal. Look at Jesus balling. My name scored in 9 games. This is what I want to see, Jay. Football. You see, at my club,
But
yeah,
no.
I don't
But
mind the manager losing 3-1. Listen to Arsenal and listen to Man United. We're in the same place, losing 3-1. We ain't moved on. Look at the players on the pitch. Thank you. Them man has lost game.
Like you said,
Listen to the
players have
difference
to
now.
be good enough. The players have to be
Listen
good
to the
enough. Yeah?
process, bro.
Saka
Listen to
is
the
good.
process. Listen to the process. You take Zidane Akbal, you take him on tour. He was balling out. Trust the kid in it. Put the
Yeah,
kid out there.
100%.
You see, if you put the kid out there and I lose 3-1 against Villa, the only positive I can take from the Villa game here, just to cut it short, is Nacho. This is my point. Like, you see, if we're losing 3-1 and I can see your process of what you're doing, I'm all for you, bro. But you see, Ten Hag, yeah, I don't know if it's the club or it's him. But Dre, if you're going through a process, these men are not part of the process, bro. Because if these men are part of the process, we're going backwards. So you see, if
But
you play the kids, yeah, and you lose 3-1, yeah, kudos, 10. Well
What?
done for
What?
putting Zidane out there, letting Zidane do his thing. I guarantee you do better than Van der Beek.
But
100%. I was
wait,
the one. Wait, Dre. I was the one telling you Nacho can do better than Sancho. What did he do on the weekend? He nearly scored, Jay. 18 years old. I told you. You see what these players are getting away with, Jay. Yeah, there's young kids hungry, yeah, that want to start a career, bro. Bro, you gotta believe in the process, Jay. I'm telling you. You see,
yeah,
me,
I,
yeah.
I
You
agree
see
with
me,
you.
yeah. You know me, Jay, and you know I've always backed Arteta in it. Because you see why, Jay. See when he was losing, I look at the team. You see, when you look at the team out there losing, you realize, yeah, these men are young. It's a process. They're learning, innit? They're learning, and look at now where they are now. Because them man have tasted defeat, bro. Them man know what it takes, yeah, to win. You don't get, I know you don't believe in them, yeah, but you see, when you're young, Jay, and you got ambition, it's different from when you're old vet living off reputation, bro.
And that's
I'm
facts.
just telling you.
You know what that's
I'm
facts. You
just
know why
telling you,
that's
Jay.
facts. Yeah.
It's different, Jay, when you got a career ready, so you can just live off your reputation. You could go out there like Van der Beek, put your leg up. Did you see the bastard after the game with his leg up behind Ten Hag? Like, brother, you just heard how many thousands doing what for my club? Nothing.
Yeah.
Walking around, looking in space, bruv. Looking in the sky and that. Brother,
Do
put
you know
Zidane
why
out
that's?
there.
Do you know why
Put
Ronaldo's
Zidane out
talking
there,
facts,
Jay.
bro?
Put
You
Zidane
know
out
why he's
there.
talking facts, bro? Because
And I can say, yeah, that's my club, Jay. Zidane's
listen,
out there. You get me,
listen.
Jay?
Um,
Go on, bro.
even that's a great point that you make, Ronaldo, innit? Because you see that pain, yeah. And I don't want to reference Arsenal too tough, but obviously we're on that subject. But that All or Nothing documentary, bro, showed man the pain that them man felt when we didn't get top four last season, bro. And you see that, like, even
Thank
speaking from a man who didn't even play at the highest level, but man used to ball. You see that loss, bro, at that level. You see what that does to man the next season, bro. That galvanizes man and energizes man and says, you know what, next year man ain't feeling that type of pain again. So that's a valid point from Ronaldo. Still, Carl.
Here's my point in terms of playing the young
Arsenal
players.
shit, God. Arsenal shit,
No.
God.
We've been no Martinelli. I'm a huge fan of Martinelli. Been from day dot, innit? You've got very good young players, innit? And when there's like they all deserve to get their run out, innit? It's easy to do your business in pre-season, but when it comes to game time, who's Zidane Iqbal replacing in the team when everyone's fit? No one. So it's the only time he's
Danny
gonna
Van
get
der
game
Beek.
time.
Danny
But
Van der Beek, bro.
when everyone's fit, Donny Van der Beek is not starting. So is he
Well,
is it
he
Zidane
started on the
Iqbal
weekend. He started
because
on the
Bruno's
weekend.
suspended? So Bruno's
So why
suspended,
didn't
innit?
Zidane get a look at?
Is Zidane Iqbal better than
If
Donny
it's
Van
a
der Beek?
process and we're meant to look forward to the future, why do they do this at
Is
Arsenal?
is Zidane
Why
Iqbal
do they do this at
better than
Arsenal?
Donny Van
And
der
not,
Beek?
of course he is. To me, right now, of course he is. Why do you think I'm saying he should play? Right now, at this point in time, he's way better than Danny Van der Beek.
Well,
What
yeah,
I
right
saw,
now, Donny Van der Beek needs to go in the toilet, bro.
that's his. Did you guys know that's his first start in 18 months for
Brother,
Manchester
I'm not
United?
even gonna lie. I've been one of those when Ollie weren't playing Van der Beek. I was like, bro, give him game time. But now, after what he done on Sunday, I don't even think Ten Hag will play him again, bro. Shocking. Like I don't know what he was doing. Going for a light jog. He must have liked the Birmingham air. I don't know what it was, bro. But he offered absolutely nothing. You might as well played with Casper the Ghost, bro, because he would have offered more. Like it. But as I was saying, yeah, when everyone's fit, Zidane Iqbal is getting on the bench. When everyone's fit for Arsenal, Saka's playing. Martinelli's playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Arsenal's process was different because when Arteta
All
got
right,
there,
Jay,
Arsenal were eighth.
can I say something?
United
Yeah.
still have expectations, bro. When Arteta took over from what's his name, there was
Yeah.
no expectations, bro. There
Was
was nothing.
any of these
They
guys
were on the
starting?
floor.
That's starting now.
They
Was
were on the
any of them
floor.
starting when Arteta took over? Was any of these guys in the first team?
Were they in the first team squad? Did it?
He
Wait,
brought, he
Wavey,
brought
wait,
them in
wait.
the squad. He brought them in the
Was
squad.
Saka playing under? Was Saka playing under? What's his name? Who's the guy? Emery.
Europa. He played in Europa under Emery.
So he was getting game time, yeah.
But Arteta
As a kid,
first
the
team.
kid team.
He was
Arteta brought
getting
all
game
these guys.
time. He was getting
Jay's not
game time.
telling me he was
He's
just one
getting
of them
game time though.
kids. He was a kid at the club though, Jay. He
He's
wasn't in the
getting
first
game
team
time.
squad.
And Zidane Iqbal played in Europa League.
He brought in Emil Smith Rowe. He brought in Saliba. None of these men were getting
Saliba was 3 years out on loan, bruv.
years, bro.
You brought him back to the
Come
club, though.
on.
2 years.
Started him, Jay.
And he got proper experience, bruv. Come
No,
on.
I'm trying to show you how Arteta works. It's a process, Jay. He's not gonna go backwards. Where's the backwards, Jay? Show me.
You tell me, no, outside of
Backwards.
Camacho, no young player that we have is ready to be playing regular first team football for Manchester United, bruv. No
Zidane
one is,
Iqbal, Jay.
brother. Who's he replacing? Out of Bruno
Zidane Iqbal.
Ericsson, out of
I just
Bruno
told you,
Ericsson and
When Bruno's
Casemiro.
out,
When
play
everyone's
Iqbal.
fit, who does Zidane Iqbal take out of the team? No one. Thank
Danny
you.
van der Beek. I
Does-
keep telling you,
When
bro. He should be the
everyone's
second
fit,
option.
what are you, bruv?
It's
When
a
everyone's
process, Jay.
fit,
Jay,
when
you can't
everyone
go
is
backwards.
when
Yeah.
everyone's fit, does Zidane Iqbal start for Manchester United?
Of course
Jay.
he doesn't start,
No.
but he should
Thank you.
get a few minutes.
Thank you. That's all I'm
Jay's not
saying.
getting. Jay's
But
not
wait,
getting what I'm saying.
I'm getting what you're saying. But Saka, put him in United's team, he starts, right?
Not Jay. Saka's ahead
Put-
of Iqbal. I'm talking about when
No,
Saka
I'm not
came
talking
into
about
the
Saka.
squad.
I'm not talking about Saka and Iqbal. I'm talking
Yeah.
about right now, positionally. If we bought Saka tomorrow, does he start
Yeah.
for Manchester United?
Of course, he can start. You
Does
fight for your
Martinelli start for
position.
Manchester United?
Of course, you
Yeah.
fight for your position.
Thank you.
We
That's
got
all I'm saying.
ballers. That's football.
And
You
them
got
man there
ballers.
are not as much. They're not as much older as the young bucks we've got. They're better. Simple. That's all it is.
No, Dre. No. You
It's
see, you
all
don't
it is,
understand.
bruv.
You don't. You
It's
say they're
all
better, yeah?
it is.
It's because
They are
they've been
better.
given an opportunity to get
Brother, they're
better.
better. They've always
just
been
said-
better. They've
Jay's
always
not
been better,
getting.
fam.
So why did they flop last season then? Just to get back to your point, then, if they were always been better, because it's a
They're too-
process, Dre.
Because
They
their
got
manager
learned.
shit the bed, bruv.
Oh
What are
my
you
gosh!
talking
But he
about?
played them though, Wavy. Didn't he play them, Wavy? Didn't
Oh,
these players
brother,
play?
you know, bro.
Wait.
So they were shit 6 months ago, but they're good now. That's what
That's
you're
my
saying.
point, Dre. They
Oh,
got to learn.
shut. Get out of here. Get out of
Jay
here.
don't get, you know.
So they
These
were
players
shit
is
6
young.
months ago.
These
They were
players are
shit
young,
6
yeah.
months ago, but they're
They
good
got
now.
to learn. You see what I mean
Nah,
about
they-
you know?
brother.
They're
It's
more
ambition,
hungry.
Jay.
They're more
It's
hungry.
thank you. It's ambition and reputation.
Next game. Next game.
All
on the
right,
week.
bro.
No, we ain't
I
finished
hear what
on
you're saying.
United Villa.
I hear what you're saying.
No, I'm
We
just-
have finished on United Villa.
No,
What
you ain't.
would you like to say, Wavy?
wanna-
Go on.
I want.
Good
You
evening.
want
Go on.
I want. You got to say, bro. You ain't giving.
What
much
have I
of-
got to say?
Yeah.
About the game?
Yes.
It's just, to me, like, I agree with Skervin. It's just a bump in the road, isn't it? It's a
Okay.
process, isn't it? These
Cool.
games are going to happen. I've said it from the start of the season. It's going to happen. But to me, rotation, innit? You've got to rotate that team. You need to remember Casemiro and Ericsson are good, but they're 30 plus. You can't be playing them every 3 days. Give them a rest. You've got energy guys. They might not be the greatest with McTominay and Fred, but they can offer you something in midfield, especially when you're completely missing the energy of Bruno. You're bringing in that. I don't even know what Donny van der Beek is. I'm not even going to call him a corpse because that's a disrespect to dead people, isn't it? Like, I don't even know what the hell Donny van der Beek does, but bro, like Ronaldo said, give Iqbal his chance, innit? You can't get any worse than Donny van der Beek, innit? And
What's your predictions? Because I know you've asked everyone else their predictions. So
we'll
what's
finish top 4.
Okay, so
We'll
what's your
finish top 4 right now.
Yeah, right now, what are you predicting?
I
'Cause
think it's going to be. I'm not going to predict positions, but I think it's going to be City. I think City, United, and Liverpool will be in the top 4.
Serious.
I think Liverpool finish top 4. There's enough. There's enough of the season. There's enough of the season for stuff to change.
All right, next game.
What? Liverpool top 4, yeah?
I think they'll finish top 4. Somehow they got to. They have to. If Liverpool don't finish top 4, you see what happened to Leeds back in the day.
But Arsenal
Liverpool.
can't win the league now.
They ain't gonna win no league. Ask any Arsenal fan. They know they're not gonna win the league. Get out of here, Arsenal can't. They won't win the league.
But
They
Arsenal
won't win the
beat
league.
Liverpool though.
What do you do? We beat Liverpool. We beat Arsenal. What's your point? We're
That's
not gonna
my
win the
point.
league.
So
We're not
top
gonna win
4
the league.
is steep for Liverpool. Everyone's beating them.
Nah, not really. We're 14 games in, so there's 24 rounds of league games to go. And they're 6 points off top 4, 7 points off top 4. We're not at the halfway mark yet, you know. There's a lot of football to be played, bro. A lot of football to be played. That's what people are forgetting. We're not 19 or 20 games in. I'm saying there's a lot of football to be played, innit? Arsenal will finish. Innit? But yeah, anyway. Next game. Actually, you know what, yeah? Let me not be a prick. Let me not be a prick. Actually, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it. I think I'm gonna double down on it even more. I think Newcastle have more of a chance of finishing top four than us.
Wow.
And
Wow.
You got what? What did you say?
Nah, Dre's
Wow.
hilarious.
Wow.
What did
I
you
think
say?
Newcastle
You
top
heard me.
4 though, but Arsenal definitely.
I said Newcastle have more of a chance of finishing in the top four than Arsenal.
Oh, nah, Dre, man.
Man loves the controversy, bro.
Quote me on this. Quote me on this.
Man's moving like the Sun newspaper, bro. It's mad.
Hey, listen, if I'm right, we're gonna do this live in person. And I'm just gonna sit there. I'm just gonna say I told you so. That's the only thing I'm gonna say in the pod. I told you so.
Oh, Dre, mate.
Brother.
And if I'm wrong, it's whatever, innit? But yeah.
Yeah, of course. Makes sense still. Makes sense.
But yeah, put money on that. Newcastle to finish above. No, let me not put money on that. But Newcastle have more of a chance to finish in the top four than Arsenal. And that leads me on to the next game. Southampton 1, Newcastle 4. Boy. Newcastle are playing some really good football. And Miguel Almiron. No player has scored more goals than him in the last 7 games. If it's 7 and 7. I know the last few weeks you've been like, what's their ceiling? But they're third in the league now. How many points are they off Arsenal? Let me just check.
I think it's about
7 points out of Penny game more.
Yeah.
But it don't matter because Arsenal's games in hands against City and City going to do them. So that don't matter. So 7 points, yeah. Could we say that title race, or should they just think about just consolidating top 4 in it?
Let me be honest with you. My girl's brother supports Newcastle still. And I'll tell you one thing that I said the other day, and I think it's the most poignant thing. I'm pissed that we ain't played them without Isak and St. Maximin. Because when we play them, I expect them to probably both be fit. And
did you beat them?
No, we ain't played them yet. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
we ain't played them yet. Yeah, I would have liked to have played them now when Isak and St. Maximin are both injured. But we've got them. I think we got West Ham
and then Newcastle.
Our first game back from the Newcastle. Then I think Tottenham or something. But either way, I would have liked to have played Newcastle already because I think they're a problem.
You know what? And they're a problem without Isak and St. Max. That's the mad thing.
Yeah,
they actually are.
Yeah.
Listen, Newcastle are playing football. And if there's one team that's going to add in January, it's going to be Newcastle. I think they're the biggest problem. I think they're going to win the league within the next 3 to 4 years. 100%. I don't know how will be the manager, but I can see them definitely winning the league. Like, there's something brewing up north in Geordieland, bruv. Trust me, there's something really brewing there. And when you've got that team, the fans, that stadium, one defeat all season as well. And that game, they got bumped by Liverpool. Like,
And they should have beat City.
Yeah.
And they beat
I
City.
think the only game they should have lost was probably when they played us. We should have beat Newcastle. But other than that,
Shock.
no. Being dead serious. Like Skervin, Ronaldo, you agree, innit? We should have beat Newcastle. We had bare chances. We were on them second half. Yeah. We should have beat Newcastle. That's
Apart
not
from
even
that
really
header on the post, they didn't really have any chances.
Yeah.
Apart from that chance in the first half, that
But
was it.
yeah, Newcastle, and they're slapping teams as well. Yeah. I'm worried, innit? Cause I had them finishing 5th or 6th. So if City are locked to win the league, Arsenal just hanging around, Newcastle just disrupting things a bit, it means there's like one spot left in it, top 4. So lads, what's your thoughts on Newcastle? Another win.
You already know what I think about Eddie Howe. So,
Mate, okay.
no, I mean, I think they're doing excellent and I expect it to carry on. I got them finishing top 4. So I don't know where Liverpool's going. You know what I mean? I got them dropping out, Chelsea dropping out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like Tottenham might be dropping out as well, depending on their full minute if they pick up. But yeah, bro.
So what you're saying is City, Arsenal, Newcastle United, top 4 then?
Yeah,
Fair
could
place.
be that. Could be that.
Arsenal might scrape 4th.
No, Arsenal could be 1st or 2nd. But anyway, like I said, Newcastle. See, Eddie Howe, yeah, he's a good manager, you know. He doesn't get his credit, I think. He doesn't get his credit where it's due, innit? The guy's only lost 1 game in the Premier League. No one's talking about that. Do you know what I mean? The guy's taken the most points out of the last, how many games? 6, 7 games, like you said. No one scored more than...
Do you know what the problem is? Sorry to cut you very quickly here, but do you know what it is? It's the English manager syndrome thing, isn't it? It's like there can only be one chosen one. And right now, Graham Potter's the one.
Wavey knows what I mean. You've seen it over the years, innit,
100%.
Wavey?
Yeah.
This is what it is. There's always one that they choose and push to the forefront. You know what I mean? So the other guys here, they get overlooked, and these are the guys that's actually putting in the work, Trey. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because you know what it is? It's because it's the English media, innit? They always want to
have
that next guy that's ready to be the next England manager, innit?
That's correct.
So like you know how they build up Southgate after the last 2 tournaments, they've sucked since. There's a bad World Cup. Oh, Graham Potter. Oh, manager at Chelsea. If it doesn't work out here, he can go to England.
So yeah, back to Newcastle, Trey. That game at the weekend, it's the battle of the New England managers, innit? It's the battle of who's going to be the next England manager. But it all depends on the League Cup game for Chelsea before that. But that game at the weekend, yeah, is the battle of the Brits, innit?
Where's it at? St James's.
Yeah. So it's a tricky one. That could be three games in a row for Potter. I warned you earlier, but now you're starting to see what I mean.
You know when you break up for summer holiday and that. And you have a bad school year, that's what it's gonna be like for Potter, bro. You know when your parents are on you all summer, like you can't behave like you did last year, going into year 11.
And all these presents are in the window. Managers performing at the World Cup. Come on. You see what I mean? You have to add that to the mix, but it depends. If he wins that game, then yeah, you know what I'm saying. Kudos to him, but it's gonna be difficult. But yeah, that like I say, Newcastle's got a tough task at the weekend, innit? But they've been doing well. Think about it, lads. Yeah, they came out drawing at United, winning at Totty. Come on, man, you have to give them their credit. Beating away at Southampton. Like, come on, man.
All the big 6 except for Arsenal. They should have beat City. They should have got something at Liverpool. They got something at United. They've beaten Tottenham at Tottenham.
You know what I mean?
Can't knock it. Cannot knock it.
Away at Southampton, 4-1. Come on, man. Come on.
That leads us to Southampton. Their manager has been sacked, finally. What's your thoughts? Some man have rated Hassan Hootel. Some man are saying he has overstayed his welcome. If you look at his whole tenure in charge of Southampton, do you think he's done a good job?
He's been very stale, to be honest. I think he came in with some energy. when he first came in, I kind of liked what he was on. He was very much on, you know, raising the energy with the crowd, etc. But he lost that quite quickly. And it's easy to do that as a manager, to come in and just try and re-energize the club because you're new in it. But to maintain that standard, yeah, I don't think he's done anything to Southampton to improve their play at all. I watched them the other day. I feel like they looked very lackluster, very one-dimensional. You got, no disrespect because he was my guy at our point, but you got Theo Walcott trying to do a thing, and it's just not working. It's just not working, bro. To be honest with you. So I don't know. But yeah, I think it's definitely time for a change for them.
Looks like they're getting Nathan Jones from Luton, who are currently 8th in the Championship. He's in talks to become new Southampton manager. Quickly, the last 2 games. Normally, we would do a deep dive on Tottenham and Liverpool, but due to time and other stuff we've got to talk about, we'll talk briefly about the game. Who needed that win more? Was it Tottenham or Liverpool?
One word, Liverpool.
Were you shocked about how bad Tottenham played again in the first half?
It's one word, Eric Dyer, innit? It's crap. I don't know how you rate this guy, Drake. This guy.
I don't rate him. Calm down, man.
You said he was all right the other day.
I said he had a good start to the season. Jesus, whoa. Hey,
hold on.
someone needs to bring back sound bites, bro. I said he had a good start to the season.
Hey, Skirt.
Yeah.
What? Ain't Tottenham winning the league now?
Yeah.
Hey.
But you know what? They're surprising me, man. They're surprising me still. I never thought they were gonna be so poor, bro. Conte in there getting what he wanted. He's not really delivering, bro.
Nah, he's had a few injuries, man, and Dyer has to play in it. So.
I think you know what it is. You see the way he sets his team up to play. He needs those songs, those Kulusevskis to be fit, Richarlison's to be fit. For him to do
real
it,
talk, Jay. Did you see Kulusevski within 5 minutes? Flipping now, the youth's a problem.
Change the game. He's a
quality.
Told
you about him from last season. The youth's just different. Within 5 minutes,
class,
slot man in one time, ball up.
Yeah,
him being on the pitch for 90 minutes is a problem.
Exactly. When you don't have that, and then Kane's supply line is Bentancur and Perisic, you got no chance. Like I said, Tottenham play 8-0-2 football, innit? 8 people behind the ball, and when it was Kane and Son, it was Kane and Son. Sunday, it was literally 9-0-1, innit? Because it was just Kane and whoever felt like they wanted to support in it. Defensively, Eric Dyer is back to Eric Dyer, innit? He's garbage. And it's criminal because if Stones ain't fit, he's going to start the World Cup.
Never. Not for me. Never.
He will. Southgate will pick him.
England's going to get embarrassed if
alongside Maguire.
Exactly.
He's better than, he's not better than Maguire, Jay.
No, but
he's not better than
alongside Maguire. That's going to be the centre back.
Yeah. I don't. Stones ain't.
No, they can play Ben White. They can play Ben White centre back.
I don't think. Southgate's so got it stuck in his mind in terms of players that he's going to pick. Ben White won't even touch the pitch at the World Cup.
Play the youth centre back, bro. The youth's a baller.
Ben White will not touch the pitch at the World Cup.
Ben White might not even get called up, mate.
Exactly.
He has to be in the team. Come on, man. Seriously, he's played every game for us.
Southgate probably knew his World Cup squad the day after the Euro 2020 final, bro. It's true.
No joke.
It's going to be Sterling up top with Kane. Anyway, we're tracking.
Back to Liverpool. Back to Liverpool. Big win for them. Where does this leave? Where does it leave them now? We've said this many times after Liverpool win. Are they going to kick on? Was this game more Liverpool played well or Tottenham were just horrific first half?
Tottenham are terrible anyway. I think in the way that they play, like so defensively, like you said, in terms of the 8-0-2 and the 9-0-1, because when it was really backs against the wall against Bournemouth, and they were 2-0 down. They showed what they can do if they play a different type of way. They're just not prepared to do it. So for me, Tottenham will always go out in this way of being very cautious and then trying to nick a goal. And it proved not to be so effective. But against some teams it works. So obviously they know their philosophy in it. But for me, Conte's not in it for a long haul anyway. So it's just a little project for him until he pops back to Juventus at the end of the season.
Well, Juve can't even afford to sack Allegri, can they? So that's a interesting take, though. Tottenham dropped down to 4th with that defeat. Liverpool up to 8th, 7 points off top 4. Realistically, where can we expect Liverpool to finish this season?
4th, 5th.
But 7th, they're lucky. Maybe 6th, battle out with Chelsea. 7th, 6th, and 7th.
Well, battle out for Conference League.
Yeah, man. That'll be a brilliant season.
Hey, Ronaldo hates the pansies, bro. He hates Liverpool, bro. But in terms of, for me, I think, in all seriousness with Liverpool, yeah, like I said, previous pods, I think this is the beginning of the end for Jurgen Klopp. I think this is the beginning of the end for Liverpool. It was very telling on Monday when you heard, was it yesterday when you heard that Liverpool owners are looking to sell the club? Very telling. And I've been saying this from COVID times when Liverpool and Tottenham were the two teams, the big teams, that were out here trying to get government aid in that. And I was like, raw. Liverpool ain't got money like that. I've always thought Liverpool ain't had money like that, but they ain't got money like that. One of the main supporters of the Super League, like they were out here furloughing staff and that, and with season 1 and that, like I've always worried about Liverpool financially.
Can I just add a little bit about them fake reds here? Do you know what, Dre? Yeah, this is the first time Liverpool ever invested big money in a player, and look now, it's all gone tits up. Normally, Liverpool get players 30 million, 20 million, little deals here and there, make it work. But now they've invested in the team, and the team's not performing. So the owners are like, you know what? Let's jump ship. You know
what the Uruguay and Andy Carroll on it.
That's my point. That's my point, innit? Like, think about it. Normally, Liverpool don't do that. Liverpool's got a wage structure and all sorts going on.
Do you think that was a bit of desperation because City signed Haaland?
Mate, I think could say they had, you know what I mean? And it's also sometimes you buy, just to hinder your rivals, because he was linked with a few clubs,
He was,
so sometimes
United were after him.
You know what I mean? So
we dodged him, bro.
Think about it. Like,
I don't know who's got a worse first touch, him or Lukaku, bro.
I think he's a good player. I don't want to get onto him, but I think Liverpool have made a few mistakes. They've went all gun ho because of last season. They was up for all 4 trophies and whatnot. They had an incredible season, but it's not going right for them. So I think this could be telling season for Liverpool, like you said, Jay. Depends where they finish and depends what happened with the club. That could be it for Klopp. I think he might get sacked, but anyway, yeah, man. I just wanted to add that.
But like I said in the previous group chat, there's many similar signs with how Klopp's managing Liverpool now to how it ended at Dortmund with him. Liverpool, where they are 7th, 8th, players not. I wouldn't say they're not listening to Klopp, but I don't think physically they can do what he wants them to do anymore, innit? He's ran them into the ground. He hasn't refreshed the vital areas of the team you need to refresh. When you've got that heavy metal football, that midfield needs to be able to go up and down and run after every Tom, Dick and Harry on the pitch, innit? When you've got Fabinho, who's been horrific, Jordan Henderson, who's absolute dog poo, and Thiago, who just can't do it, you're not going to win many football games. And it's showing now, isn't it? To me, the cycle's ended. I think this could be the season where Klopp leaves and they break up the team. To be honest, but they've had a decent run in it. They've like I said, they're the best runners up, best losers in Premier League history.
Yeah, I agree, Jay. Valid point.
Best losers in Premier League history. One other game we didn't mention quickly: West Ham versus Crystal Palace. Palace went to Westfields and got a 2-1 win. Good win for Palace. Their first league win away from home since February. Our boy Zaha and Elise with the goals. Elise, I should say. I think it's one of those ones where I think both teams are going to be all right this season, but I think for Palace, they needed that win because there's been a few games where they haven't won, they should have won, but that was a big win away from home at West Ham. What's your thoughts on the win? And what's your thoughts on the win?
Big win from Palace. Big win away from home. Like you said, they needed the points as well. So good for Vieira, Elise. Was it last minute kick of the game with it?
Yeah, last kick of the game.
Elise, yeah.
Quickly,
Huh?
I just want to say, do you guys watch Elise's post-match interview?
No.
Where everyone seems to be criticizing him for giving like one-word answers, saying, I don't know, it seemed like it was a bit of racial undertones, the way people criticizing how he's answering the questions. It's funny because what's that Manchester City's player's name? Cole Palmer. He said something about I'm here to run the tin or something like that, and everyone praised him. But Elise answered questions. There were basic questions. He answered with one-word answers, and everyone's like, "Oh, he needs to do better in front of the camera." I don't know if you've seen it, but if you watch it, go on Twitter or Instagram and watch it. What's the fact? What do you think about that in terms of? Do you think players need to be media trained, or journalists just need to be better?
I think I like when players express who they are, personally. I think there's an element of them naturally that's going to get media training, but I do like when they let the personality come out in expressing themselves. Like, for example, Xhaka's media trained, but the other day he just said it how it was.
I love that. I give him full respect for that.
Yeah, he just said it how it was.
What do you expect if you're interviewing man on the pitch and he's just come back from celebrating with the fans, isn't it?
Exactly.
All right. That's the roundup for the weekend. Oh, go on.
Can we just celebrate Palace, bro? Like Eze and them man there, Elise and that. Forget their little interviews, whatever. These youths are ballers, man. So hard and that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Celebrate the youth, them, man.
Come on.
Straight
Leaf
up.
Athletic, aka
You know,
Mandem FC.
man, see Eze and that. Outside the boot, quick to Zaha, the turn and that, the finish. Hey, these men are balling, bro. Big up Patrick Vieira, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I think next season they're going to be a serious problem. I hope he can keep this team together and add a few bits and pieces. Yeah, they're going to be a problem.
You know why
I don't
they
think
don't
it'll be this season.
They don't like Elise, bro, because the youth cut, bro. His parents are French, yeah. So he cut.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, because England wanted him, innit? England wanted
Exactly.
to,
You play
and he
for
said, "No,
France
I'm
and
playing
that.
for France." Yeah,
You
straight.
get me? They use the baller, man. Leave him. Let him shine, man. Know them ones. Big up the youth, man. That's a big boy goal as well. It's the intent. I know it's deflected, but it's the intent, bro. He wants to affect the game. He wants to score, bro. Gotta shoot to score. Big up the youth, them, man. Palace, man, them FC. Is it?
All right. Speaking about England, in a couple of days, the World Cup squad is going to get announced. 26-man squad. As always, we're going to expect to see a few shocks, a few shock inclusions, a few shock non-inclusions. Now we're gonna pick our squad for the World Cup. I don't know how you want to do it. Do you want to do it who we think should go, or who we think Southgate's gonna pick?
Mm,
Mm.
interesting.
I say you just pick your own team, man, because we
All
already know who Southgate's gonna pick. You gotta make it. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's start with the goalkeepers then. Don't even know who the English goalkeepers are outside of bloody what's his name. But who do you think should be the three that go?
Ramsdale, Pickford.
Oh yeah,
Pope,
Ramsdale, fifth in that.
Pope, and Pope.
Ah,
We'll agree with that one, innit?
Yeah.
I
Pope,
would say
well,
Henderson, but Pope deserves it. Newcastle, come on, man.
best
Deserves it.
defense. I think they got the best defense in the league, innit? One of them.
Yeah. Well, they had it
Yeah.
before the weekend.
Know what I mean?
We got that right now still, but
Let's move on.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that goalkeeper list. But you know what? Because Pope flopped for England, I would have taken Henderson but you got to take experience in it. And to me, I think Ramsdale should start in it. But hey, I'm not Gareth Southgate. But
it's
yeah,
Ramsdale don't fit the style of play that Gareth Southgate.
Ramsdale's not better than Pickford, man. And you
No.
know I respect Arsenal, but Pickford's more experienced. He's more solid. He's a better goalkeeper. He is, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Ramsdale's more effective for the way that we play.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean. But Pickford is
not England.
he's a better goalkeeper. Jay. Come on.
okay.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not. Nah, Pickford's crap.
He's
just- The only thing that's good with Pickford is his distribution, and even that
Yeah.
suspect. The only thing that
Quality.
Pickford, that Ramsdale's bad at is his distribution can be better in it, but shot stopping wise, way better than Pickford. Way better, even positionally, way better than Pickford. Pickford's just in the England squad and in the team because Southgate don't know nothing outside of his bummo and the tip of his nose, innit? So he's gonna play. He's bruv. If he had the choice, Southgate would still pick the same man that started the World Cup semi-final 4 years ago, bruv. Nah, to me, way better is Ramsdale, but it is what it is. There's not much difference, really. But I want to say way better than Pickford, but there's not much difference. But yeah, those three should go. All right, cool. Moving on. Defensively. Let's start with the right backs. I don't know how many he's gonna take, but we should.
Walker's not back, bro. Walker's not back, is he?
Oh, yeah.
There was a question about whether he might make it back for World Cup.
Reece James ain't
There's-
going.
They're saying there's a chance he might be back. He might still be in the squad.
But
'cause
it's
he could
one of
be
those
fit.
weird ones, isn't it? Because the World Cup starts next Saturday or next Sunday. That I think a lot of teams are going to take players that might not be fit.
Yeah.
For maybe the first game, maybe not the second game, but maybe they might be able to play further down the line, innit?
Yeah, so
that's
I'm thinking Walker and James still.
Walker and who?
But what?
James is definitely not going, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
James
he's
out.
injured. Yeah, he's out.
No
Oh, you
chance.
got
No
that.
chance.
So what is it, Trent? Boy, I don't know if I'm taking Trent. You know, I don't know if I'm taking Trent. Saying Trippier.
Trippier has to go. Has to go. Has to go.
Let me just name my three quick, Jay. Yeah,
Go on.
Walker. Yeah, because they're saying it might be a chance, but I've got him as a centre back because you know he ain't gonna play.
I know who you're gonna say. You know, and I'm gonna agree.
So
I'm gonna agree with you as well. Go on.
I'm going Ben White, Trippier,
Yeah.
and Arnold. That's my three, innit?
Oh. You're not taking Walker.
Walker has to go, man.
I would. If there's a chance he can play the second group game, I'm taking him in it. But if I'm Pep, if that guy can't play the second group game, I'm not taking. I'm not. Yo, stay at home in it. There's another. How old is Walker? Like 30. Yeah, this might be his last World Cup, innit? Yeah, you got to take Walker.
Yeah, I'm taking him as a centre back, bro.
As a centre back.
Not as a because he plays in a back three, innit, for England.
Yeah,
He's
it's
not
true.
really a right back. Yeah, for England. He doesn't really play. So my three right backs: Ben White, Trippier, Arnold. That's it.
What about you, Skervin?
Trippier. I'm gonna have to go with Arnold, because what he offers, that with his crossing and that, like, he's all right still. So I'm gonna go with him. It's gonna have to be Trent. Yeah, Trent, Trippier, and White.
I'm gonna go Walker, but you can play centre back, so it's calm. Walker, Ben White, and Trippier. I think Trent is so bad defensively, you can't risk it at a major tournament. You can't. Positionally, he's horrific. 1v1, he's horrific. Every team will target Trent Alexander-Arnold if he plays. And the way Southgate plays his teams is defensively already in it. You can't risk it. He's going to be exposed. Me personally, I'll play Trent in midfield, innit? But he's so great going forward, but defensively, he's not even basically sound. You can't take him. He's a big liability. And you even saw it against Tottenham on Sunday. If he was up against a better wide player, so the Perisic, he would have got torn to pieces, bruv. So you can't take him, bruv. He's got to just get down the basics of defending. Like, you're right back. You can't defend. What's the point? That's my for you on that one. Centre backs. Who we got?
The difficult one, isn't it?
I got John Stones,
So
Cody, Maguire.
Ain't Stones injured?
I'm thinking right
I
now.
think he's back in it. And he didn't.
I think he might
Yeah,
make.
he's back.
He's back.
He played
Yeah, he's
the
back.
weekend. So Stones, Cody, Maguire, and because there's no left back, I just name my defenders straight. You know what I mean?
Go on then.
So Luke Shaw, and there's
Luke
only
Shaw
one
will
more
start.
spot in it. Yeah, it's one more spot. I don't know, but it's not Eric Dyer because he's dead. But I just know England's gonna go Dyer. But
Of course,
I'll
Southgate's
take
taking him, bro.
I'll take Tomori. I'll take Tomori. If not Tomori, yeah, I'll take Tomori. Actually, come on, man. But I know they won't. You know what I mean? So
I
it's
think
probably
they'll
gonna.
take him to fill out the squad, innit? But I think because he had 2 bad games against Chelsea, and I know with these England, the FA, I know the media, they don't watch football outside of England, innit? So the 2 times they've seen Tomori play, he's cost AC Milan a game against English opposition, innit? He hasn't looked good. I think it's touch and go if he makes the squad. Honestly, I honestly
Well,
think it's touch and go if he makes. I think Cody will go. I think Tarkovsky will go. I think Maguire will go. Stones will go, and maybe Mark Gay from Palace might go as well.
But you know what? This is what we can't help.
that's
Naturally,
9 defenders.
naturally, we have to go back to the default of thinking what Southgate's going
Southgate
to
pick, yeah.
Yeah. Even when we want to pick our own team,
Yeah,
naturally you
that's
know.
that's
Because my
that's
thing
what
is,
I'm
even
saying.
with the right back thing, I would pick Ben White, but I think the natural fit is Trippier, Walker, and Trent for England.
And then,
Because
and
Ben
another
White's never
thing,
even played with England.
yeah, and another thing is just because someone plays well for their club in a certain way that's
100%.
not going to translate to international football, isn't it?
100%. That's what I'm saying about Ramsdale and Ben White, for example. They don't fit the way that England play. And because they ain't played with the team like that before, it's not going to be a natural fit when they go out and play their first group game. And that's why I think naturally you have to think, right, what's Southgate going to pick?
Left backs, because obviously there's no Chilwell. We picked Shaw. Who else?
Sessignon.
Ooh. Hey. Whoa. Hey,
Man
Skervin
said
trying.
Sessing, yo. Scare with the
Skervin
bombs, you know.
just, yeah, bro. Bro, Skervin backed out the shotgun, bro.
Who else? Who else is out there?
Hey,
I think,
Scare, man said Sessing.
you know what? I
Who else
think
is
he's
out
gonna play
there?
Trippier at left back, innit? He'll play Trippier
Who
left
else?
wing back or
Who else
something.
is out there though? As a left
There's
back.
no one, bro.
That's
No
what I'm
one.
saying. That's it, young bro.
I swear there's one you at Brentford as well. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. I don't think he'll go though. I don't think I would pick him anyway because he's not even had any sort of experience around the squad. But he's done all right though. I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Henry or something, innit?
Mm.
Rico Henry or something.
I don't think he's better than Session. Session's had a good season though. I kind of,
Nah,
I hear Skervin's
yeah.
point.
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah. Come on, lads. You out there pushing the boat out a bit now. Come on, man.
Boy, it's a
He's had an
title
alright season.
contender, man. What's wrong with
Yeah, he's playing for a title contender. Yeah, come on. Alright. So that's the defense. Then we'll leave the other left back spot open. Midfielders now should be interesting.
Lads, remember, yeah, how many players you lot are listing? That's what I said. Yeah, you guys are not. You guys are listing too many players. You don't know how many players are going, right?
26.
25, yeah.
I don't think 26.
See
I
what I
don't
mean?
think we've even listed 10 yet, bro.
No,
Of course we have.
We've listed
Come
about
Dre,
11,
we've listed.
11, 12.
Listen, yeah, now more than that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying
No,
to
no,
you.
no. It's
Wait,
9
We've got
defenders.
three
three
goalkeepers,
goalies
3 goalkeepers.
and 9 defenders.
Yeah, that's 12.
Yes, that's 12. We've got 14 more. That's all right. Because
10
there ain't gonna be
defenders.
many. There ain't gonna be many midfielders, guy. Because what? Bellingham, Rice,
Exactly.
Hendo,
Let me name. So
Ward
how many
Price.
midfielders we got then? 9. About 9 as well, innit? 9 defenders, 9 midfielders, yeah. So I'm going first on
Yeah.
the list. I'm going Saka, innit? My guy, Saka, yeah.
How are we doing it? Are we doing this
Madison.
midfielders and forwards?
Yeah,
Or
midfielders,
we
man.
we
Midfielders.
casting Saka as a midfielder, yeah?
Yeah, he's a midfielder, bro.
Oh, all right, go on then.
Midfielder, Saka, yeah. Grealish. I know it sounds a bit out there, but you need Jack in there, man. You know what I mean? You need Jack for the camaraderie, you know, for the that English banter. He needs to be in there, lads. Trust me, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's
He's
one of
already
them
looking
players.
for the local prostitutes in Qatar, innit?
You know what I mean? Innit? So you got Rice in there, got Ward
Hey,
Prowse in
I'm
there.
gonna make a prediction. Sorry to cut you off. Jack Grealish is gonna get arrested in Qatar, you know.
Jay knows what I
Go
mean.
on.
You need lads like that, and
Yeah,
you know what I
100%.
mean, innit? Yeah, so you need that for the British press when they're out there. The back, Jay knows what I mean. It's a scene,
Yeah,
innit?
they need a
Yeah,
Gaza in it. They need a Gaza
yeah,
type
man.
figure in it.
So yeah, I got Ward Prowse in there. Come on, lads. You know it's England, man. You gotta have Ward
Come
Prowse
on,
in there.
come
You
on.
know
I
what I
rate
mean?
that,
Like
man.
Ward
I
Prowse,
rate
you
that,
gotta
man.
have him in there. It's a little weapon. You got the British Zidane, Phil Foden. Come on, man. You gotta have him in there. And then you got the the Eric Cantona, sorry, KDB of British football, Money Mace. Gotta have Mason Martin.
Nah.
Lads, come on,
Hey,
man.
I'm about to
You
stop this
can't shoot the
recording now,
messenger.
bro.
Nah,
I'm
lads,
not
come
buying
on,
that one. That's one. I'm not having that one. I'm not having that one.
Come on,
All
lads.
of them are cool until that one.
Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm gonna get to the controversial players in a minute. I'm just getting the players that you know is already
So
on the
how many
plane,
have you
innit?
named?
You
So
know what I
you've
mean?
named what? Grealish,
Saka, Grealish,
Saka, Foden,
Rice, Ward
Rice.
Prowse, Foden. That's 5, yeah. Mason Mount 6, and
That's
now I
about
get to
7, bro. Go on.
the real players now. Jude Bellingham,
Oh yeah, that was my first player, bro.
Yeah, man. Number
James
one.
Maddison, James Maddison. Get what I'm saying?
Wait. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm getting to my
okay.
players now. I get the
All right.
usual suspects out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I got my guy in there, Jude Bellingham, Madders in there, James Maddison. Got to have him in there. But when I look at my midfield, I'm thinking you need a bit of experience. I know you lads are gonna say, but you gotta have Hendo in there, man. I'm sorry, man. You
Yeah,
gotta
I
bring,
agree. I
you
agree.
gotta
Still.
bring Hendo
Mm.
because that midfield is a bit young, you know. It's a bit they don't
Yeah, I
know
agree.
tournaments and whatnot. You got a bit of experience in there, you know. Bring Hendo.
Yeah,
You might need
100%.
him.
100%.
Hendo a few games. You know what I mean? He's done
No,
it.
no,
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
no,
me, man.
that's a good midfield. That's a good midfield.
That's a lot of midfielders, but I hear it still.
That's 9, Dre, man. Come on.
I think it's about 10.
That's
No,
9.
that's 8. That's 8. It's 8.
That's 9. Look, Saka,
It's 8.
Grealish,
One.
Rice, Ward-Prowse, Foden, Mount, Jude, Madders, and Hendo. That's 9, isn't it?
Ah,
Did
9.
you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
Rice?
Yeah, yeah. 9, man.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No.
I got.
That's
I
that's
got.
4. That's 4 strikers left. Kane. Let's just get out
5
of the way.
strikers left.
That's
That's
who he's
5
at.
strikers left. That's 5
Um.
strikers, isn't it? Serious, that's 5 lads.
Uh.
26 players, man. It's World
Midfield
Cup.
wise.
26, man.
Yeah.
You saying Tony is Tony on the plane?
Who?
Let's get through the midfielders
Tony.
first, lads. Go on, Jay.
Ain't we done the midfielders?
Jude definitely starts with Rice. Foden. Oh, come on, Foden. It's gonna be England's best player. Foden. Hendo has to go just for the experience. Grealish just because you need a character. How many's that? 5. Who have I forgot? Saka has to go. Who else? Who have I left out? Ward
Madders,
Proud.
Ward-Prowse, Madders,
Madders
Mount.
has to go. And in an ideal world, because of his form, Madders would start. But because he's on a shit team, it's a bit difficult. But Madders has to go. Has to go. Who else? Mount. Well, yeah, come on. He's the poster boy. He's the great white hope in it. So Mason Mount has to go in it. So Mount. I would not. This one is more of a. I think I'm thinking like Southgate, yeah. But I would not be surprised if Ruben Loftus-Cheek is picked in that squad.
Oh, come on, Jay, man. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. You might as well take Sessignon. You're
I
taking
would no. Here's why I say this, yeah.
Nah, if you're gonna
Here's why I
take
say
Loftus,
this, yeah.
you might as well take Sessignon, Jay. Come on, man.
Here's why I
Loftus.
say this, yeah. Because he is a fan of Loftus Cheek. He done well at the last World Cup. We know Southgate's a bit of a football dance, isn't it? So he would be dumb enough to pick him, and he's playing consistently for Chelsea. That's why I say he would pick him. I wouldn't take him personally. I think that midfield pick, like it's similar to Ronaldo's midfield. I think that midfield picks itself in it, but I think there will be a shock that doesn't go. I think it might be Matters. I think Loftus Cheek might go, but yeah, that midfield picks itself. What about you, Skervin?
Midfield, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going Declan Rice, Bellingham, Mount's gonna go. What else we got? What Prowse to go. We need him for the dead ball situation. Late on in the games. Grealish, obviously, Foden. How much is that? 5 or 6?
7.
That's it. That's
7.
it. 7.
7.
7.
Yeah. Got 2 more
Yes,
spots.
yeah.
Or 3 more. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with oh man's got black, mate. Flipping hell. Obviously, like we said with Madison, I'd pick him.
Got Saka.
Yeah, that's good.
Got Saka.
Oh yeah, Sugar. I forgot Saka. Sugar.
Grealish. You know them ones.
No,
Jack.
I said Grealish. Oh, I said Grealish.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
see.
Is Calvin Phillips fit?
Calvin Phillips.
He ain't fit,
I
but
don't,
England.
I don't really see the point of bringing him.
You know what I mean? But
It's
South.
Southgate, innit? He would, yeah. All right,
But he
that
ain't in my
leads up.
midfield.
Nah, no way. That now leads us to the forward line. I don't know how many we've got to pick from. Is it 5, 4, 6? I don't know.
Five, innit?
5. All right.
5.
So we know who's definitely going. So it's definitely Harry Kane. And definitely
Four.
Raheem Sterling. Definitely Raheam Sterling.
3.
I know
Nah,
some
joking.
people.
Yeah.
Outside of them two, who's going to the Middle East?
Right. If Callum Wilson can stay fit, bro, I'll bring it in, bro. Serious.
But I agree with that. Straight.
Serious.
Who else good?
Um,
Oh, there's one name that hasn't been mentioned yet.
um,
So we're not
who?
putting Rashford.
Well, he's gonna go, isn't he? He's gonna go. He's fam, to be quite honest with you, yeah. It should have been Kane and Rashford that we mentioned first, bro. I don't put Sterling in that category right now, fam.
Ooh.
I
Real
agree with
talk.
Skirty.
Now,
He's been playing wing
I
back.
don't care what I don't care what anyone wants to tell me. Yeah? That man does not don't deserve his plane ticket on that plane, man.
Nah, no,
What
whoa,
about
well,
Sancho?
okay, that's a bit
What
steep. That's a
What
bit
about
steep.
Sancho?
that's a bit.
Huh?
That's a bit.
What
No,
about
same thing. Them
Bro,
man don't deserve his plane ticket.
Sancho's gonna be watching the World Cup at Kenneton local barbershop, just like the rest of the man there.
Nah, you know what? Let me just bang out my 5 because I agree with Skirty. Yeah, I'm saying Kane, Wilson, Rashford, Sterling. I don't know, man, if it's Tommy or Tony, man. But I think they're gonna go Abraham because Tony's in some betting
Whoa. Who's in the better scandal? Tony.
Yeah, bro. That's what
Swear down.
what's going on. As soon as the World Cup comes, they wanna, you know what I'm
He
saying?
dropped the scandals on the black man and that.
You know what
But
I'm saying, Dre?
you see how that Hendo scandal got swept under the carpet though, innit? Mm. So
Nah, I
But
mean,
consider
so
that's all right. They saved my man a trip, bro. Because he was gonna do is just sit on the bench and look pretty, bro. That's it, bro. They ain't doing that.
I hear
That
you. I
man,
hear you.
he probably
I
wouldn't
hear
even got up for a little warm up. Like them man, there on the tracksuit and on the bench, bro. That man ain't
you.
doing that.
Nah, that's what he was in the last squad, innit? Man didn't even get a look in, bro.
Yeah,
If not
Mm.
5 minutes or
yeah,
injury time run out. You
Do you
know them
think
ones.
that's the one position where form should definitely take you to the World Cup?
yeah.
100%, man. That's the main
Because
thing on the pitch.
in other positions, a lot of players, if you're going by form, shouldn't even be in the squad.
Mm.
I.e., for like example, Maguire, Jordan Henderson, um, who else? Trent, if he goes, you know what I'm saying? But up front, you're saying the most informed player should go.
100%. The hardest thing in football is to score a goal, bro. You know what I mean? So you gotta have players in form when it comes to strikers. You're not gonna take a striker and you know what I'm saying? He ain't scored in how many games unless
I'm gonna I- I'm
unless
gonna
he's,
throw a
he's
name in there, yeah.
producing assists. You know what I mean? And other
Ju-
stuff is all round play.
Just because this guy can offer something different, and I think one out of the players you named up front ain't going. I think Calvert Lewin's definitely gonna go. I would take him.
So who drops out?
I think Abraham drops out. He's not doing
Abraham
it.
drops out.
He don't drop. He's not doing it for Roma. His goal record this season ain't as great as everyone thinks it is.
Yeah,
Um,
because teams
on
change. But
form,
I agree with you. I agree with
our form, Callum Wilson, 100%. Rashford, I think they'll take him anyway just because he feeds kids, so it's good for the optics. Um, so Kane, Sterling, Rashford, Wilson, Calvert Lewin. If we're gonna make add a six, what we've got 6, yeah. Tony's got to go in it.
No, five.
It's 5, yeah.
26
Oh,
players, yeah.
well, Tony can deal with the FA betting scandal, then, isn't it? Yeah, that's 5 then. That's a good 5 as well.
Yeah.
All right. Skervin, you got your 5?
Yeah. I'm going with Kane, Rashford, Wilson, Sterling. Yeah, obviously because we know he's gonna go, and difficult one, man. Difficult one. I'm gonna go Tony, you know. I'll take Tony blood instead of Calvert Lewin.
Okay. Wavy, what do you think? Who do you think would be the 5 up front or taking up top?
Sterling, Kane, Rashford. I agree with you, Calvert Lewin. Who's my final? Who's my final one? No, I can't even remember. I was just thinking off the top of my head. So, but yeah, I don't think.
Wilson.
Oh yeah, sorry, Wilson. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah, deserves
yeah. 100%. Yeah.
All right.
I hope he's injury free.
Yeah, 100%. So we've picked our 26. Listeners, pick your 26 in the comments and let us know. Moving on to the weekend preview. The last round of games before the World Cup. I know some man made predictions. We're going to come back to those predictions next week. Let's get straight into the games. First game of the weekend will be. Hold on, get up. Yeah, first game of the weekend is at the Etihad. Manchester City at home to Brentford. Surely Manchester City are going to fill their boots up. Are we saying Haaland hat-trick?
Yep, 20 goals leading into the World Cup break.
That would be a Prem history, but yeah, it could happen. It's a possibility still. But a City win, definitely. 3-1 City, man.
Yeah.
I'm going. They're going to properly fill up their boots. I'm going to go 6-0 City. The 3 o'clock games now. And I will make this prediction: City will be top of the league going into the World Cup break. Anyway, 3 o'clock games now. Bournemouth at home to Everton. Quick prediction, guys. Who you got for that one?
I'm not even gonna predict. I'm just gonna listen because obviously I won't be here next week. But I'll listen to you guys.
All right.
2-0 Everton.
You're saying Calvert-Lewin with a couple before he jets off to Qatar.
I don't know about Calvert Lewin, but 2-0 Everton.
I say Everton 2-1.
I'm gonna go Bournemouth, just because Everton struggle to score goals, and Bournemouth seem to be scoring goals for fun. Just can't keep them out. I'm gonna go 3-2 Bournemouth. It's gonna be a good game though. Next 3 o'clock game, Liverpool at home to Southampton. Are we looking at back-to-back wins for Liverpool, or it seems that the new manager Nathan Jones could be announced tomorrow? Could he get his first win in front of the Kop?
In front of the Kop.
I doubt it, man. They'll get like a 4-0 hammering from Liverpool. 4-0.
Wow.
Yeah, back-to-back wins, man.
Yeah, I don't see nothing else but a Liverpool win, to be fair.
Yeah,
a
full house
hammering,
here.
to be honest.
Full house here. Yeah, full house. I'm gonna go Liverpool, probably 3-0 or something. The next 3 o'clock game, Nottingham Forest Football Heritage at home to Mandem FC, Crystal Palace. Um, Palace got their first away win in how about 8 months last week. Well, weekend just gone. Can they go to little old Nottingham and get themselves back-to-back away wins?
Yeah, I
I
back
think
them
they
to
can.
win. Yeah, same here, Scott. I back them again,
Mm,
2-1, man. 2-1.
Same.
yeah,
Full
up,
house.
up.
Full house. Full house for that one. Next game, Spurs at home to Leeds.
Yeah, Spurs win. I don't see it. Leeds pulling off a shocker. Don't see it.
Oh, you think so?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't
Okay.
see Leeds doing a shocker
Oh, so you got
still. I
Tottenham. You got
reckon.
Tottenham, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, man. Kulusevski's back. I can see
I
Totti
think
getting back to winning ways, yeah.
Ah,
I think
okay.
Leeds
I've
have.
got Tottenham. I think Leeds win this one, you know.
Is it?
This will officially end my Tottenham for the league campaign, bro.
That's what I was about to say. I was thinking, what? Hold on.
This is
Hold on.
Tottenham for the
What's
league
going on
campaign
here?
ends. Tottenham for the league campaign ends this weekend because they're going to lose at home to Leeds. I can see it. I like what Justin Timberlake's doing over there at Leeds, bruv. Like he's finally got them. It seems like they're playing football. He's slowly starting to figure out a way of how he can do that heavy machinery football, but can kind of like not defend but not lose in it. So yeah, I think they're going to pull it out of the bag. I definitely think they're going to pull it out of the bag.
I'm going Tottenham like 3-3-4-1. Tottenham.
Whew. Hey. Leeds 2-1. Bamford with the winner. Slap a turner on it.
Has he scored this season?
No.
It's always about your next goal, fella. It's always about the next goal, fella.
Yeah.
He got a better chance
Um,
banking Rodrigo. He's been banging in a few. Yeah, he's been banging in a few still. Let's give him credit.
it's true. Next final 3 o'clock kickoff. West Ham at home to Leicester. Do Leicester make it 3 in a row?
Yep.
Nah, I could see a 2-2 draw, tight game, but I don't think West Ham's gonna lose 2 games in a row.
I think West Ham win, you know. I'm going
Nah,
for West Ham win.
I could see Leicester balling out as well, so it's a bit of a tricky one, and I could see a draw.
I think West Ham are
2-1
better
Leicester.
defense. Ooh, I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham. That one. Probably the next game, biggest game of the weekend. It's as Ronaldo calls it, it's the next England manager derby. 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. Newcastle at home to Chelsea. We've briefly talked about it earlier, but it's time for predictions. Who have we got for that one?
3-1 Newcastle.
Hoi!
I agree, you know. I think it's gonna be an embarrassment for Chelsea. Seriously, I actually agree. Could be even more.
I agree. I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be more than 3-1. I think it's going to be 4-1. I think it's going to be it's going to be an embarrassment. You know what? I might even slap a 5-0 on it. I think it's going to be peak for Mr. Potter going into that
Nah.
World Cup break.
Can I just say though, before, to be honest, lads, we got to take the game with City into account. I'm predicting City to beat Chelsea by a big score, innit? But if City doesn't beat Chelsea on Wednesday in the League Cup, I think Chelsea might win that game, you know, against Newcastle. Like, I'm
You
being
know what?
honest. If they get a result against City, it makes a big difference, innit? I think that's how football is. It's confidence. But if City slap them on Wednesday, it could be curtains at Newcastle.
Yeah,
Seriously.
You know what it
they
is?
don't want.
I don't think whatever team Chelsea put out on Saturday is going to make any difference. They're going to get slapped. It don't even matter if they beat City on Wednesday or whatever. They're going to get slapped. Newcastle, St James's Park. It's an evening game. It's dark. Come on. Bruv, St James is going to be rocking. Once that first goal goes in, it's over. Thiago Silva is going to be putting a ham sandwich by Callum Wilson, bruv. It's over. Wrap it up. Potter, final days in charge, bruv. Final days in charge, mate. You're going to get stuffed. But full house then. Newcastle going to stuff Chelsea. There's another game on Saturday, 7:45. Wolves versus Arsenal.
Ooh, I reckon that might be a banana skin, you know. Not gonna lie.
Arsenal 3-1.
Not gonna lie, Ronaldo, bro. This might be another banana skin like United had new manager back.
Arsenal's a different kettle of fish. They're not on this silly stuff. You know what I
I
mean?
understand that,
They
mate,
just
but
turn
when you
up
got the new
violate.
manager back, it's all a buzzy, right?
Skervin,
It's all a buzz, mate.
Skervin, you're talking my talk, mate. You're talking my talk.
I'm
Here's
telling you,
why I think.
you'll be
He doesn't take over. He doesn't take over until
He
Boxing
doesn't
Day.
take over till Monday.
Turkey, mate. That's like,
He doesn't take over until Boxing Day.
oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he don't start till Monday. But here's what I think. Here's what I think.
No, you said
Arsenal won't win the
Boxing Day,
game.
bro.
Boxing
won't
Day.
win
He
the-
doesn't take over
Yeah,
until
he
Boxing
don't officially start until Monday, innit? So his first game's
Boxing
Boxing Day.
Day.
Stay with it, Skervin, bro. Stay with it, Skervin.
Oh, mate. No. Slap me, good. I'm still gonna write it, bro.
Here's why I think Arsenal won't win that game. Yeah, I'll be a draw. The last game they were meant to win, away from home, against one of the bottom dwellers of the league, was Southampton, and they didn't win that game. I'm gonna go with Diego Costa's gonna score in that game. I think it's gonna be 1-1. But there's no shame in
80 suspended.
Is he not still
Suspended.
suspended, Jake?
Raul Jimenez is gonna score, and it's gonna be 1-1.
Is he not injured?
You're
Is he not injured,
doing
Jake?
everything.
Is he injured? Is he injured?
Getting
Yeah.
very desperate. pal.
Adama Traore is gonna score, and it's gonna be 1-1.
Oh man, that is funny.
If Neves doesn't score for that team, they doesn't score any goals.
You else
I
scored.
don't
Someone else scored for Wolves at the weekend.
Who?
One
Probably
of them,
your
I
own
don't
goal.
know,
Oh yeah.
one of them other
Yeah.
Portuguese brothers.
But that's my point. Like, where's the goals coming from? They've scored the least goals in the Prem.
7 goals all season, you know.
Thank you. And you're telling me they're gonna win a game of football, bro. Come on.
I didn't say they're gonna win. I said they're gonna score. They're gonna
Out of
score. It's
them,
gonna be 1-1.
out of them 7 goals, yeah, about 3 or 4 has been penalties, and the rest is Neves plus penalty.
Mate, a goal's a goal, mate. A goal's a goal.
Nah,
You take them
Arsenal
anywhere they
3-1.
can come.
Probably even more. 5-4 could be
Whoa.
ridiculous down there. Yeah, Arsenal are going out with a bang, mate. They're gonna beat Brighton tomorrow because you guys,
Weren't
they're
there
gonna
Carabao
beat.
Cup games tonight?
Yeah, as well. Brentford are out, but yeah. So
Oh,
say yeah. Arsenal are
yes.
definitely beating Wolves, 100%. 3-1, 4-1.
All right. Sunday's games quickly. Brighton at home to Villa. That should be a good game, you know.
I say Brighton. 2-1. Tight game, but I can see Brighton nicking.
I'll go
That's a
3-3.
draw. Yeah, that's a draw.
I think it's going to be goals. I was impressed with Villa against United, to be honest. Very impressed. Yeah, I'll go 3-3 for that one. The final get. Oh, did you say your prediction, Ronaldo?
Yeah. Brighton, innit? 2-1.
All right, cool. Final game of the Premier League before the international break or World Cup break. Fulham at home to Manchester United. I'm not confident about that one, you know.
Skirt said, my
Yo,
bro.
that.
No, listen, we're gonna suffer in that game, innit? So don't be surprised if we go down, innit? Because these pitches are different. They're tight. It's similar to the bridge, innit? It depends on how we start.
I heard the away dressing room is not too similar to them dingy dressing rooms that you see like on like when you play Sunday League and that.
Yeah, bro. It hasn't changed.
Yeah. They
It's a
haven't changed
tight
at
pitch.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. It's a tight pitch. I know
Um,
Fulham.
to me, it depends on who plays on Thursday against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. If he plays a strong team, we're definitely losing against Fulham.
We can't lose
And
against Fulham, Jay. Come
Andreas
on, bro.
Pereira is definitely going to score a free kick or a 30-yard or a penalty. And boy, if Mitrovic plays, you have to play Maguire. You can't play ballet man up at centre back with Martinez, bruv. But saying that, if Martial can get some minutes under him against Villa and he stays fit and he starts against Fulham, we're gonna slap him. 3-1 Man United. There you go.
2-1
What you man saying?
United. 2-1 United.
2-1 United. We're gonna suffer in that game. Gonna suffer a lot in that game.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, yeah.
All right. Quickly before we go, we introduced this last week. Winners and losers. We pick our winners from the weekend just gone and our losers. You guys got any winners? It can be players, managers, teams. Anyone that stood out for you over the weekend, winners wise.
Bailey scoring against United at home. Winner.
Yeah, happy for him as well.
Arsenal,
That was a very good finish.
Arsenal team.
Yep, that's a good one. Wavy.
Winners. I would say Unai, and I'm not even saying that as banner. Honestly, I'm saying that he's that just because he's come. No. Honestly,
Man said,
I hear you,
man
Wavy.
said,
That's a very
man
good
said,
first window. Still.
a man said first name basis, you know. Unai, I love that. I love
Mm.
that.
yeah. Good evening. You get me. Good evening. No, but big man thing. Yeah, I think Unai, just because of the magnitude of coming in, given where Villa were and the condition that they're in, and playing such a big fixture as his first game. So that would be him for me. And then loser would have to be Hussein Tao in it. Obviously, he's done. So yeah, that's my winner.
Winner, I've got to go for Mo Salah. Match winner. He's had a lot of criticism this season.
True.
Some of it rightly deserved. Hasn't been his usual self, but in a proper must-win game that Liverpool needed to win, settled the game. That's what top world-class players do. The game changers do anyway. And he done it. Big win for Liverpool. The second goal was sublime finish. Nice little dink over that donut, Maurice. But yeah, Mo Salah. On to the losers. Mentioned Hassan Hootel. Anyone else for you?
Eric Dyer.
Potter.
Eric
Eric
Dyer with
Dyer.
that howler of a header. I don't know what he was doing. Did he hit his shoulder or the side of his head? I don't know what's going on. But all I know, that was a sister Salah. That's it. He's a loser for me. Eric Dyer.
And Skervin said Potter, yeah?
Yeah, start of the end.
Ooh. Ooh.
Potter's getting no love for it.
Right.
But to be fair, he's lost 2 games in a row. Come on. Surely he has to win the next game.
Ooh, up Geordie
Well,
land. I'm not sure
his
about
next
that.
his next game City
Ooh, hey mate.
in the Carabao. Yeah, they're playing tomorrow in the Carabao.
Like I said about them school holidays and that. When you had a bad school report and that, and then you got to have that 6 week holiday at home and that, with your mum just chatting rubbish for the whole 6 weeks. The English press are going to be on Potter for 6 weeks until the World Boxing Day, bro. Oh, oh, Potter definitely deserved to be a loser. I can't. Who else should be a loser? You know what? Victoria Lindelof, just for that foolishness he did for the first goal. Actually, worse than that. Actually, I'm going to slap them in together. Victoria Lindelof and Donny van der Beek, useless. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Useless. Pointless. Why are you footballers? Go away. Absolute useless. Ballet dancers, bro. But yep. Let's briefly touch about Champions League, Europa League draw. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Repeat of the final. If we were to say on today's form, who's going through out of Liverpool, Real Madrid?
Real.
I think Liverpool knock them out though.
I say Madrid just nick it.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool are going to go far in the Champions League. They're just going to be plucky, because they're going to need to win it. I think Liverpool will go far.
I think this is it. Game over for Liverpool, bro. Champions League, all of that. It's a wrap.
King Benzi, yeah.
Yeah.
You already know, Jay. You already know.
We won't touch on the other English teams because who cares in the Champions League. But the big one in Europa League, Manchester United against Barcelona, definitely rigged, isn't it?
It's an interesting one because I think I'm going to kind of contradict myself because I spoke about form on the last two and they're both Spanish and English fixtures. But I think with this fixture, it's different. It's just the fixture, if that makes sense. And I think
the second leg is at Old Trafford,
and all of that, and the fact that you're going to play a style that's going to disrupt them, innit? Because they're not going to be used to the style of play that you play. That's going to be the most telling thing.
I think who's the manager come February, because something tells me Xavi won't be in charge. And if I heard they're sniffing around Mikel Arteta. So
What? Who? Say that again. Who? Who?
So I heard they're sniffing around a manager at a moment to replace Xavi. So who knows who could be the manager come February, innit?
Nah, nah. I think away we're gonna struggle. Definitely, 100%. At Old Trafford, we got a chance, but because it's the second leg, we might have lost the tie in the first leg.
I think because I've seen enough of Barcelona in big games where they've pooed the bed. And I've seen United in big games minus City, and we've turned up. I think we're going to be all right. I don't think we'll lose either games. I think we will beat them at Old Trafford, though, and I think we'll beat them convincingly at Old Trafford. But they've got that firepower. If Lewandowski's firing, then who knows? But I just think we're, like Wavey said, our style, they're just not, that's going to unsettle them to a T. I don't think they're going to be able to handle it.
How can you say our style, but bro, they got a similar style. The only difference is
because
in their
with
midfield.
us,
Can I say it though, bro? The only
bro,
difference is in their midfield, they're sticking to the process. Gavi, Pedri, they're young, Jay. So they might turn up after the World Cup at Old Trafford and just ball out. I'm just saying, because like I say, I don't want to stress it, but it goes back to ambition and reputation, innit? These men's got their something to prove, like, you know what I mean? For
so
me,
if
anyway.
they got something to prove, why are they out the Champions League?
They're young, innit? Like I say, they have to lose. Like, come on, Jay, Pedri and Gavi, like, they're kids, bro, but they're still out there. You know what I mean? They're out
weren't
there.
Pedri,
So,
didn't Pedri play every minute of the last Euros though? He's got experience of losing, no? Of top
but
level
how
ball.
old is he, Jay? That's my point. You gotta
Don't
give
matter.
this
Age, wait. Age ain't nothing if you got
play.
experience. It ain't. It don't mean nothing.
You see my point, but yeah, I don't want to stress it, but that's my point. You see, Barca, they're calm. You're saying Xavi's out. Xavi ain't going nowhere. They're calm because, like I
They're
say,
out of a
it's a
Champions League
process,
group.
bro.
They're out of a
Ah,
Champions League group.
you see at the
That
World
team,
Cup, keep an eye
that
on
Barca
Pedri. That's
team,
all I'm saying. Innit?
that Barca
Keep an
team
eye on
is
Pedri.
very good on paper. Very good on paper.
Keep an eye on Pedri, innit?
They should have got through in the Champions League group.
It was a hard group, man. Inter,
No,
Bayern. It
Inter are
was a
not that
hard
good.
group, Jay.
Inter are not that good. They're not
Inter
that
was
good.
champions last season. Barca ain't win the. Come on,
Milan
Jay.
won the league last season.
Like season before then. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
But Barca,
2 years ago.
last season, Barca Xavi just about brought them in Champions League. There was like how
They
9th,
finished
10th
second.
when he took over.
Didn't they finish
Exactly.
second?
Yeah, he took them from
So
what's his name? Like,
didn't they
yeah,
stuff
and
Real Madrid at the Bernabeu?
come on, man. That's what I'm saying. Give the guy time. It's process, and he's
So
doing it with young ballers, Jake. He's doing it with, like I
is
said,
Kessie young? Is Kessie
Kessie.
young?
Come on, man. Kessie
Is
don't
De
even
Jong
play
young?
for
Is
Barcelona
De
player.
Jong young?
He's
Is
a
De Jong
bench
young?
man. All of
Is
these men are
Busquets
bench,
young?
but
Is
thank you.
Busquets young?
Now you're talking. Busquets is
The
there
young starts, bro. What are you
with
talking about?
Pedri and Gavi. No, he doesn't, Dre. It's Busquets,
Oh
Pedri,
my
and Gavi.
days.
I'm
Bro,
telling you,
they've recently dropped Busquets, bro.
the
Because
only time
Busquets is
De Jong
old and
plays, yeah,
slow.
the only time De Jong plays when
Pure
Busquets is
experience. They've
injured.
got pure experience in their team.
He's
Bellerin,
injured, or
Alonso, Kunde,
right.
Garcia, all of them man there are experienced footballers.
But who's
The
in the
only man
belly?
that are
Who's
young, Fatty, Pedri, and Gavi. That's it. That's it.
There you go. There you go.
Three
And
man.
Dembele. And Dembele.
Oh,
Dembele.
allow it.
Dembele and that. These men are
Anyway,
not old, bro. Come on, man.
it's another episode for Love of the Game. It's a pleasure to have you, Wavey Davey.
Thank you, bro. Pleasure to be here.
I know the only reason you're here because you wanted to gloat, but you know you had your time.
Slightly.
We'll have you. Whenever you're ready to come back, more than welcome. Ronaldo, Skervin, any final thoughts before we jet off? This is a long episode, bro.
We're here for the love of the game. You see it? Always.
Skervin, you there?
Yeah, he's probably sleeping, fam.
Yeah.
For the love of the game, though.
Okay. Yeah, for the love of the game. For myself, Ronaldo, Skervin, Wavey, Davey, it's another episode. We're out. Peace.
Love.
Peace.